Since I'm super late, I guess not horrendously late, more like 4 minutes late, I figured I at least owed you guys the dramatic live entrance and some immediate pet tax just off the dome. Just right off the jump. We're gonna start with a little Mochi Motorboat ASMR. And Miles' hatred of not receiving all of the attention. Miles is also here. He's just on the floor. I need to set up like a Miles cam that I just like can pop up at all times. Just in case. Oh, mucho love for time. Do you love being a star? Are you starting off this Thursday morning? He's like, I'm done. That's a wrap. That's a wrap on that. Meanwhile, Miles is like, I'm still here. All right, Miles, we can do a huggy bug. You haven't been outside. I think I'll be okay. All right, you ready? Miles tax to start off the stream. What a good baby. Sweet guy. All right. Go on, bud. Thank you. Anyway, welcome back to another Dadvocate live stream. I am your host, Lauren. This is an audio-only friendly stream where we talk about relationships, parenting, co-parenting, marriage, and all kinds of other bungholery and buffoonery in between. Today, I would like to start off by thanking our sponsors, which is you guys, for being here, and especially the patrons and YouTube members who have their own access to the Discord channel, early access videos, exclusive streams and videos, exclusive merch, exclusive emotes, including the Mochi and Miles emotes, top tier emotes. A special thank you to you guys. If you would like one other housekeeping thing throughout the stream before we begin, the best way for me to see your comments is through YouTube Super Chats, just because it's like the best itemized system on any of the platforms so far. So even if I miss it, they make it super easy for me to just go back and read ones that were sent. So that's just the easiest way to get my attention, but you do not have to give me any money also. I also just read the chat in general to the absolute best of my ability. Okay. Twitch cheers and Facebook stars also show up on screen if you want to just have additional fun throughout the stream. But with all of that said, today the theme of the stream is a super viral video that has been going around that I call a woman who is basically bragging about being a merciful God for not divorcing her absolutely slovenly, terrible husband that she rips apart for approximately 6 minutes straight on the world's most social, public, popular platform out there. Yeah, that's about it. There have been a lot of creators who have covered this, and yet a lot of times I'll almost like talk myself out of covering something if a bunch of other people have covered it. I'm like, I mean, a lot of other people have covered it. Do I really need to? But at the end of the day, I forget that not everybody is as chronically internet brained as me. And for a lot of you guys, you have never seen this before. You have no idea what I'm talking about. And if you have, I feel like some of you are still like, I cannot wait to hear what the Dadvocate is going to say about this one. So I think I saw a couple of super chats. I'm going to pop on over to those real quick before we begin. Oh, Tony Socket, thank you so much for your gift of memberships. You really do have access to some pretty cool stuff on there. You've got the Dadvocate origin story. That's a fun one. Our whole custody battle. My husband's that I was kind of the coach in the corner rubbing his shoulders on, how we met, all that good stuff. And then I recently have the hate react, or the hate video react video. So if all 5 of you who just got gifted memberships, please enjoy those and enjoy the emotes that you can use throughout the stream as well. Michael McIntyre, thank you for the first super chat of the day. A handsome 2 says, good morning, fine people. Good morning to you too. I lost my voice for a second. ZOMG, so good to see you. Thank you for the sec. Don't tell Mochi you're streaming, he'll leave. Did you see that? See how instantaneously? When you guys are not around though, he is Babbo. He's baby. Okay? Aw, hold on, Chris, I see your Facebook comment. Yeah, Zach from Kids Deserve Dads is an awesome dude. So cool. I didn't even know that there was a Father's Day weekend thing. Anyway, Gus, so good to see you. Thank you for the 5. Moving to upstate New York in 4 days to work in volunteer construction on a 40-hour week. So it's unlikely I'll ever catch another stream live. Oh man, I was already like, my heart was going out to you because I was like, ooh, that sounds like a really rough time. But yeah, you know, I never really do see those construction guys with headphones in. I feel like it's illegal or like some kind of liability. ZOMG says again, you don't have to give me money. Don't tell me what to do. Was the meme to your liking? Doubly yes, absolutely. Okay, let's just jump right in, okay? I've got this video all queued up for you. And fun part is that this is definitely going to be a mostly blind react from me. This was one of those things where I've been so busy. You guys know I was on spring break, just dedicated to the family for a week. Then I got back and I was like instantly having to catch up on stuff. So this is a video that I've only seen peripherally. I've seen like everybody that I like covering it, and I've been bombarded with emails. Everybody's like, you have to react to this. And then by the time I was like trying to react to it, I could not find it anywhere outside of pieced up from other creators' commentary. And then an absolute angel, like truly sent directly from the heavens, like a golden dove, like rivaled only by the fairest of maidens, emailed me and was like, will you cover this video and send it to me in its entirety? So I don't remember who that was. I know I have your email still saved, but thank you. Thank you so much for this. And without further ado, this is a video titled, Why I Considered Divorcing My Husband. Honestly, okay, I'm sorry. Before we even start, I have to ask you guys, how would you feel? Men, women, anything in between or other, okay? How would you feel if your significant other, let's say spouse in this case, even if you're a person who's like, I will never get married, but let's imagine a world where you do. Your person posts a video online, sorry, a hint of mochi was left behind, and they're like, why I considered ending things with my partner. Like, even without knowing what else is about to be said, would you be like, cool? Probably not, man. I feel like just seeing this, I would be like, oh, okay. I guess we're getting very, forward with our communication and what we share with the general public. Also, I lied. I said it was 6 minutes. I don't know why. It's apparently just 5. So I'm so sorry I lied to you.
I've been with my husband for almost 20 years, but about 3 years ago, I was strongly considering divorce, and I want to talk to you about why. So I'm going to tell you the story of the day where I thought to myself, maybe I don't want to do this anymore. My husband and I had 4 kids. We both worked full time. We had been together for 16 years at this point. We've been together since high school. And on paper, I have an amazing husband. He is incredibly supportive. He's kind. He's loyal. He's a great dad. He's very hands-on. He's an active participant. He's always present. Like, on paper, what else could I ask for? But in reality, my experience is very similar to the experience of other women.
I'm sorry to pause, but hold on. So what's the difference in this circumstance between on paper and in reality? I was waiting for her to, like, I guess she's going to now say something that, on top of all those other great things, is super, super terrible, right? But I'm like, I think this is one of those situations where, like, on paper and in reality can actually have, like, a pretty big part in the middle of that Venn diagram that they're... that is the same. Also, thank you so much, Phil Jackson, for gifting more memberships. Oh my gosh, that's 10 more people immediately on the crew. We love this so much. Okay, so on paper, this dude's awesome, faithful. 16 years they've been together since high school sweethearts, which I feel like that's one of those things where it either goes beautifully well. Like the kind of love story that the kids tell down through generations and is shared throughout the whole community and everyone knows and loves them. Or they're like, I should not have jumped so quickly into this. You know what I mean? It could go either way. We'll see.
I had this amazing husband who on paper was great, but I was incredibly frustrated and burnt out from our marriage and from motherhood. Because what happens to so many of us is that we marry these amazing men and we have amazing relationships and then we have kids. And when we have kids, women tend to carry a disproportionate amount of the work in the home, the work of raising kids, and the mental load. And that is exactly what happened to us. About 3 months after my fourth baby was born, I remember looking at my husband and saying, I need more. I need you to do more. I am exhausted. I am in charge of everyone and everything in this house. Every night when we cook dinner, you ask me what to make. Every day when you drop off the kids at daycare, you ask me what they need in their backpacks. I am the project manager of this home and I need you to do more. And he looked at me and he said, okay, just tell me what to do. Right? Every woman has heard this. Just tell me what to do and I'll do it.
Oh, that's funny. I've actually made a video on that one. Yeah. I'm like trying to hear her out. I was like, you could see my face like waiting for the other shoe to drop on that. I'm like, okay, everything's great. The relationship's great. And then she's like, and then we had kids. And I was like, did you not want the kids? Did they show up out of nowhere? Like, and I get what she's saying. I think that this is a sentiment that a lot of women share, and I can definitely see where they're coming from. I mean, yeah, throughout like all of history, we know that women have been seen as the child rearers. So it's like ingrained in our psyche since like birth from a lot of different areas of society and even just parasocial conditioning. And I can see where a lot of women are like, man, I feel like I'm doing a lot of that, which is a big part of why I tried to create this channel, where I try to bridge those gaps and kind of get people to understand different things. Like I think that it's really good for men to recognize that, like, wow, you are doing a lot of shit. And like vice versa, you know what I mean? I think that it would go a long way to help heal these kinds of relationship divides if we really sat down with each other and like tried to at it from a place of understanding, like maybe they're actually doing as much as I am, even though it's completely different. You know what I mean? Like it's really hard when one person is the primary mother figure or at home all the time and the other person is at work. You literally cannot see what each other is doing all day. You're not experiencing it in life. And unfortunately, a lot of us are like super aware of things. Some of us catch things better than others, but I can personally speak to this. I feel like I can speak to this on behalf of like a lot of other people, but like there will be times that my husband could have spent 4 hours moving, shifting, rearranging things, and I will walk past it and not even notice. And there are times that I do it and it happens with him and he just like, it's like an everyday just coming home, like doesn't even see it type thing. And if you don't keep yourselves in check and like communicate and like, honestly, dude, have begged my husband. I'm like, please tell me if you did something. If I don't notice it, I know that it can be like embarrassing to brag about a chore, but like, please point it out. Like, please, it will actually make me feel happy and excited that you did that. You know what I mean? And so like, I've learned to shamelessly do it as well. Like if I do something, I'll be like, can I show you? Can I show you what I worked on today? And then we get like to share that moment of like communication and being grateful for each other. And if you like don't actively practice that, then yeah, it can be really easy to just like get in the habit of coming home, having no idea what the other person did. And then because they didn't do what you did. You're like, you did nothing. There's nothing done around the house. I do everything. It can be really easy to fall into those patterns. Hold on, let me read some super chats real quick. Sorry I missed them. Elijah, thank you so much for the 5. Says, good morning, Lauren and chat. I love being able to catch a stream. Your excitement and attitude makes my morning better. I'm glad I read it now after I was just like enthusiastically jumping around the chair. I had a really good walk with Miles this morning. TJ takes Parker because they just move at rapidly different paces. And I used the metaphor of being like the centipede from James and the Giant Peach when he's on like the torture machine and all of his limbs are being stretched everywhere. But yes, super energized this morning. Dr. Gamester, thank you so much for the super chat. 3 years ago, I wonder what was going on then. Oh, dang it. This is what happens when I read things so late that I don't even remember what it's in reference to. I think she said 3 years ago is when they had their kids, though, if I'm piecing it all back together. So anyway, sorry to get tangential, but also not sorry, because that's also the point of my channel, is to kind of like take these things, dissect them, learn from them. As I always say, we can't save these hoes, but we can learn from these hoes, okay? Non-derogatory.
And I said, okay, something that would make my life easier is if in the mornings when I came downstairs with the 4 kids, because I do mornings by myself, the dishwasher was emptied, the dishes were put away, and the trash was taken out. Nice. That would make my life so much easier, because when I've got the 4 kids running around and the baby crying, I can't be looking for their favorite water bottle in the dishwasher. I just need to know it's clean. And he said, yeah, of course. What? Yeah, I'll do that. That's no problem. And so, of course, he does it. But then I have to remind him, and then he forgets, and then I have to remind him again. And there was this one morning where I woke up, and I went to put something in the trash, and it was overflowing. And I went to get my son's water bottle, and it was in the dishwasher with all the other clean dishes. And I felt so disrespected and unseen and unvalued at that point in time. And I remember texting my husband being like, what happened? Like, why didn't you do this? And he said, sorry, I was running late for work. And I remember thinking, oh my God, he doesn't see me, because what he's done has now made me late for work. And he doesn't care about that. He doesn't care about the impact on me. And he doesn't see how every single thing in our home happens because I ask him to do it, or because I do it myself, or because I planned and organized it.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. This is where it exactly turns into resentment. And so, like, I want to go back to the whole making a list thing, because I did forget to add that into my tangent. But we're going to reel it back in and then throw it back out. You know what I'm saying? So making a list, absolutely. That's like a very popular thing for us women to hate. Like, there's so many videos on it. Like, I hate when they ask me to make a list. And I have mixed opinions, because there are definitely a lot of things that, yeah, you shouldn't really have to ask. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're tossing trash into a bin that it literally immediately falls out of, you should probably just tie up the trash and take it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you leave your dishes out, obviously you should clean them up. There are obviously things that go without saying, but there's a lot of reasons that a list may come in handy, and that a person may be communicating to you that they need a list. I am not a psychologist. I have no business being an armchair psychologist for any of these people, but there are a lot of neurodivergent individuals in this world. A plethora, myriads upon myriads of neurodivergent folks. Your husband might, I'm not saying for sure, might possibly be one of them. And for those kinds of people, across many different spectrums, lists are so helpful. And the reason is not that they are incapable of finding things to prioritize. What the best part of a list that someone else can make for you is it lets them know exactly what you prioritize, because he's thinking of things. His priorities are different than yours, though. But when he has the list, that can help. And a lot of you might be thinking, well, like, why can't he just remember the things that she told him yesterday? I really don't know how to explain to you how a neurodivergent brain works, but the concept of you just like saying multiple tasks at once, at one point, you know how sometimes printers get jammed and you kind of have to like do something like a little rewiring. Maybe it's like a cup of coffee, just something that makes your brain like get back on it. And then you like immediately are like, oh yeah, that was the last task that I was on before I wasn't. It's, there's, again, maybe her husband is not neurodivergent. There is not a zero chance that this is all this evil, manipulative, weaponized incompetence. Just hold on, I'm sorry, another mochi here has entered the fray. The pros and cons of the dramatic live stream entrance. But, you know, he could be just this expert level Disney villain puppeteer of the family where he is like weaponizing the shit out of his incompetence and pretending to be stupid so that he can just get out of doing everything. There is not a zero possibility chance of this. It's just following her own context and her own trajectory of this storyline. It sounds like he's been a really reliable, loyal, awesome dude for like the majority of your 16 years together. One last chance to get these hairs off my face. Okay. And so like, I don't know. I'm just inclined to think that there is a not zero chance as well that he just has slightly different priorities than you, and we need to communicate to get a little bit better, which is, she might be getting to that, right? We got to why I almost considered divorcing my husband. So maybe she'll be like, and then I was like, okay, I gotta calm down and just talk to the person I married. Okay, a couple super chats, we'll get back into it. So my God says, the amount of things that needs to be done burns my mother out. However, her need for the control enables her to let others do it for them or for her. So same problem. That's a thing too. I've been really guilty of that in the past. Like that I've really had to let go of like realizing that the way that TJ does it is never going to be the way that Lauren does it, because TJ is not Lauren. Never will be, never was, right? And so there are so many times that I'm like, but this is the way I like to do it, and he'll be doing something radically different. Like the way we clean floors, for example, completely different styles, you know? But it's like, if you're not doing it, just enjoy that is a strong mentality that I'm gonna do, unless they're doing it like horribly wrong to a point that it's damaging things. Like, hear them out, figure out why they do it their way, you know? And Heal JW, thank you so much for the super chat. Okay, let me scroll, didn't miss anything else. Let's jump back into it.
The diaper bag is full because I filled it, right? I put the wipes in there. And I felt so frustrated. And I remember thinking, what's the point? What's the point of doing this with someone else? I might as well just do it at home. And it's not because my husband didn't love me or he did anything to me. And it's not because I didn't love him, but because I felt so taken advantage of in our relationship. And
she's so close. She's so close. That's the thing that really like sucks and can like just absolutely suck the joy out of marriage so quickly, is that when we lose our ability to assume positive intent. Because it's crazy. She's saying this. She's like, he loves me, but he's taking advantage of me on purpose. And it's like, only one of those things can be true. And like, so either he is this like heinous evil villain who doesn't actually love you and is just using you, or like he loves you and there is a major gap in understanding and communication that can be repaired. And I think that like, especially with the way social media like feeds us things, like the all the trends right now of like me getting my spark back after divorce and like how pretty my house is like before and after divorce, is it can like really make divorce look like super attractive. But it's like, no one's gonna be posting the sleepless nights that they were up sobbing, or like how lonely they felt, or the debilitating financial aftermath. Like no one's posting that shit to TikTok, so it's really easy to like not see the other side of that coin, or like go back to being like, I don't think he's doing this because he hates me. So my God says, what do you want for dinner? Stop asking me obvious things. Cool, we made mac and cheese. Well, I didn't want that for dinner. Come on in our house. That has unfortunately also happened to the best of us, I will say. Luckily, I'm glad that I found better words for it. Like, I'm at a point with TJ where, like, sometimes I will be so tired after a long day that when he throws the remote at me, I'll get mad because I'm like, I cannot make a single more decision. How dare you put me in a position to make another decision? But now I'm like, I have too much decision fatigue to want the remote right now. And my husband is like, hard, and we'll take the remote back. Like it's all comes back to always learning more words, I think. Jojo, thank you so much for the generous super chat. Says, as someone with severe ADD, ADHD, and attentive type, I highly recommend doing these tasks before sleep. Because in the morning, I have time to bed rot and less anxious getting ready for work. Yeah, it's all about like designating what your best time is. Like for you, it might be before sleep. For other people, it might be like the first thing in the morning. I feel like my husband, yeah, my husband can't be a before sleep guy, and with his cycle of ADHD, because he's one of those people who, like, if we're all going to bed, he like feels guilty if he's not going to bed, and we can't shake it out of him. He'll try. Some nights he will successfully stay up late and like draw on the couch, and on those nights I'm very proud of him. So, oh my God, thank you for your super chat. Now I'm a do as an egg and scramble. See you later. Oh, well, thank you for hanging out. Come back and watch the rest of this later.
This dynamic, it doesn't happen by accident, right? It's not like my husband did it to me, but we've been raised in this society that tells men and women who they should be in marriages and what it looks like to be a good mom versus a good dad. And we know the bar for moms is way up here and the bar for dads is way down here. And we fell into these norms.
That's another like big, I think that's just a gender war talking point at this point. I really hate to say it. This is not me trying to like at all dismiss the labor of moms. Y'all, I am a working mom. I'm literally in the same exact position as her. We're literally wearing the same exact outfit, dude. I'm not dismissing her labor at all. But I do think that this is one of those times that I think we let our own struggles cloud our ability to recognize that it might not be fully true that dads have it so much more infinitely easier than we do. Like, I might have this unique experience that a lot of women don't get, where I am emailed several hundreds of times by men who are describing things to me like the cops being called on them just because they took their own kid to the park, or being accused of things because their kid is not the same color as them. Like in very difficult situations, like men are not as trusted around kids as women are, first of all. So I think you would hope that it would be easy for people to understand why that might cause some difficulties for fathers, right? And then it's like, obviously, let's not even get into family court and the fact that in 45 out of 50 states, you are not entitled to equal shared parenting even if your paternity is established. Like, that's not a baseline consideration in the grand majority of states. So there's a lot to consider with that. There's a lot of other struggles too for dads. Like sometimes the low bar for dads that women complain about is actually some of like the worst parts about being a dad. For example, women will be like, well, dads aren't expected to show up for these things. And it's like, yeah, that's why I get guilted if I ask for a day off work so that I can go to the thing. Like that hurts me too, though. Like we don't like it either. And I'm speaking we as in like what the men are saying to me. You know what I mean? They're like, this idea that like I'm better off as a paycheck than as a present figure in my kid's life is something that like really gets to dads. It's not a competition of like who has it worse, but it's just something that I wish that we could each acknowledge with each other. Like, yes, it really sucks when you become the default parent, as it seems that she is experiencing. But also, as one of the former super chats mentioned, a lot of this comes from when we accidentally put it on ourselves. Like, I'm not going to call her this like control freak or anything. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that she was like, no, don't do that. I'll do it, right? That's not most often the case, but it can often happen that you just kind of get into the habit of doing it, and because you're doing it, the other person gets into the habit of not doing it. Like, I'm going to use feeding the animals, for example, at least in the morning. I do the afternoon, but like my husband just started feeding the animals in the morning. And so, like, without even thinking about it, until I thought about it, it just became his job. And it just wasn't my job until there would be like a weekend that he'd be out of town. And then I'm like, why is everybody meowing at me so aggressively, so early in the morning? And then I'm like, oh, because the not my job is my job. You know? It's hard being grateful for everything that your spouse is doing, because it's hard knowing everything that your spouse is doing. That's why it's like when sometimes people are like, I hate when people say marriage is hard. I guess keep hating then, because it is. Doing anything worthwhile is hard. Sorry.
Into these roles in our family, despite the fact that we never wanted to. And I'm lucky, and I say lucky because I have a partner who I know loves me and wants me to be happy and was willing and able to change. And so we did the work to figure out what equity looked like in our relationship. And I can tell you now, 3 years later, that we are happier than ever. Our kids are thriving. Our home runs like a well-oiled machine. And that took a lot of work. I want to say it took like 18 months to get there. And it was well worth it. But it is not uncommon. And so if your wife is coming to you...
The boy was on an 18-month PIP plan. Y'all know what that is. When your employer puts you on a PIP plan, it's like the thing that happens before you get fired. It stands for Personal Improvement Plan, and they'll be giving you like weekly checklists and stuff, and like, you better be on the up and up or you know what's gonna happen. That's literally what happened here. She put your boy on a PIP plan. Hold on, I did miss a couple super chats. Marshall Cultural Preservation, thank you so much for yours. Says, thanks for the nose ring theory video. Thank you guys for watching the out of that video. Holy cow. That was a video that I was like, man, I don't usually do short videos like this, but like this isn't quite short enough for a short. All the stuff that I want to cover. So I had fun with it. I did all the editing myself, and you guys like loved that video. I was like, oh, cool. I should just do this more often. Ice for Ice, thank you for the super chat. Says, Lauren, you heard of blue toilet water debacle? Yeah, I covered it. I did cover it. I think if you I hope if you like search the Dadvocate blue toilet water gate or something was my video, but yeah, I covered it and I did the whole follow-up. I think that live is definitely still public, where like I cover an interview of her talking about it like years later. Man, it's actually crazy. We're coming up on like 3 years of blue toilet. No, it's probably 2 years of blue toilet water lady. If you don't know, search for it after the show.
And she's saying, I'm burnt out by the mental load and I need you to do more. She's not just saying that because she wants you to do more chores. She's saying that because truly it can hurt your relationship. It can ruin your marriage if you do not participate in an equitable way in your home. And so what does that look like? What does it look like to change these dynamics? Well, we need to really assess in our homes what the work looks like. Because in most homes, the data supports this, women do a disproportionate amount of the work. They just do. They do more of the cooking and the cleaning and the laundry and the childcare. While
this is supported by a lot of data. And the crux of this for men that I do have to point out is that when you do look up the data, it's self-reported. So they ask women and men like, how much work do you think that you do around the house? And like, so it's most of the data is based on self-reported data. And so I don't know anyone who's like studied psychology in the chat, if you can speak up, like how reliable self-reported data can really be. And I don't know any other way that they would really get many statistics, because it's like it's not like they can have students like sit around the house for a week and see who does more, like with a little checklist, like woke up early, fed the kids, stayed up late, fixed the serpentine belt, unclogged the toilet. You know what I mean? Like it's really tough to say, but most data, if you look it up by wide margins, you'll see that it says that women do more housework. But it's also like, you have to think about things, because it's like also the data suggests that men work more hours. So there's also that. It's like how much that was like. So there is this really great game that I would recommend to couples who are having these arguments. Like if you are a man whose wife is like disproportionate labor, a good faith way of handling that would be to get this game called Fair Play, and it literally like has a bunch of chores and stuff, and you can like divide them, and it, even no matter how the game ends, it gets you talking about who is doing what around the house. So like me and TJ did that, and we did find that it was very helpful. But the problem with that game, and I'm not sure how we fix this, is there's no part of the game that talks about like labor outside of the home, like a job where you're working for someone else. Because as a person who at one time, because I've talked about this before, when our daughter was a lot younger, it just made sense for TJ to be the primary stay-at-home parent because he had more experience with parenting, and I did not want to leave my career. Like it was like really taking a point where I was really happy with it, and I was like moving, and they were super like able to work with me with my daughter. Like I lived very close to where I was working at the time, and they would literally let me go home and nurse. Like it was the best setup for us. But you know, that left my husband doing or responsible for most cleanup and general labor around the home. And at that time, I was like, well, my time still certainly counts. If I'm out of the house for 40 hours, like earning all this money, I feel like that certainly counts for a contribution. You know what I mean? And now that the roles have kind of reversed, and I'm obviously still a working woman, but it's YouTube, so I'm very grateful. You know, my husband's out of the house a ton of the time, and so it's like, yeah, I'm the one who's home more often, so that kind of makes me just naturally more responsible for more things, but it doesn't mean the hours of labor he's putting out don't equal things out in some regard. Ice for Eyes, thank you for the dono and for your contribution by saying, I did have a psychology classes, but more importantly, I can say from a man's perspective, a lot of times we don't think of basic chores as doing work. Once we get in the habit of doing it, it just gets done. Interesting. I wonder how many people would agree with that. Because I like chores are chores, you know, chorin is chorin. It's all work, I think. There's some chores that are easier than others, but there are others that I'm like, I am not excited to do this at all.
Also working full time, and men have more time for things like their hobbies, like golf, for example, or just working out, running a marathon, right? And so we need to have hard conversations.
Do men run more marathons than women? Because as a runner myself, I feel like it's pretty equal. Do men or women run more marathons? Let's see. Women are participating in marathons more. For instance, a study in 2019 showed that the growth in marathon finishers was 54.29% higher for women than men. But is there like a stat? Let's see. Male finishers outnumbered female finishers. Okay. So it sounds like males run more marathons. There's also some studies I've found that suggest that men in general have more time for hobbies. But I also wonder how that data is collected. You know what I mean? Because it's also like, aren't you guys deciding as a family who has more time for hobbies? You know what I mean? Like, shouldn't that just be a decision between the two of you? Like, or I don't know. That's kind of interesting to me, the way that all plays out. I don't know. Me and my husband we definitely try to support each other in making sure we can go out and do the things that we want to do. So I don't know. I feel like people come out with these studies, they put them out there, they become very popular in the social zeitgeist, they go viral, and then it's really easy for us to digest these studies. Like for me as a woman to read, women do most of the labor and they get less free time, and to internalize that and be like, yeah, my husband is oppressing me. And so like you almost do have to kind of like fight back from like, getting poisoned by that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Because that's the way it feels. Like it has happened to me where I've read the like super viral articles where they're like, here's why you as a woman should be mad at men, and it like starts to work very quickly. Like the poison sets in, you start developing, like turning into a werewolf when you're just like, men are the worst and they take all my joy away from life. And it's just like you have to fight back and be like, wait. Aren't I in control of like who should be spending free time on what? Like, aren't I able to communicate with my husband in actuality though? Wide-Eyed Fox, thank you for the super chat. Says single father, full custody, worked full-time, raised 2 kids, paid college, and kept house for 15 years. Yet she's burnt out. Neuroticism and delusion. Like I said, I don't like to make things a competition of like who's more tired, especially in a marriage. That's never helpful if your spouse is like, I'm exhausted, to be like, you're exhausted. Like, just say me too, dude, and then go soak your feet together. You know what I mean? But I do hear that a lot from men who are like, dude, a lot of us are single dads doing it though. Like, we get you. You're not the only ones. I think that's one thing that also helps with the gender divide a lot is when we act like we're the only ones exhausted from working and parenting. Like, let's not dismiss each other, you know?
About what our time looks like, what our labor in the home looks like, what is invisible labor. We have to talk about these things, and when we don't,
invisible labor,
the alternative is that you no longer have a marriage, or you don't have a happy one at least. And so I share this story because I don't think I'm alone in this experience, and I want people to know that there's hope, and that if you have a willing and able partner, you can change this. You can absolutely change this dynamic.
Okay. So my overall rating of that video was, I don't think that it was as inflammatory as like a lot of people have been presenting it. Like everybody has been selling this lady to me as like, oh my God, she's like so super tremendously ungrateful and she like rips this guy apart. And like, I don't know, maybe it's because I've like heard so many of these sentiments from so many different creators that it doesn't seem that crazy to me. It didn't seem as bad as I thought it was going to be. It felt more like a cautionary tale of like something that a lot of marriages do experience, which is like, oh man, like we weren't ready for this phase of our life. We failed to properly communicate with each other. It led to a lot of built up resentment, but eventually we did figure out a way to make it all work. Like, on its head, a lot of the stuff that she's describing should be very relatable. But I think that the issue that a lot of people are taking is that throughout the video, her tone doesn't really have any accountability for any of it. Like, throughout the whole video, all 5 minutes, it's all like, these are things that happened to me and how I was able to fix it despite all odds. And I think that's the part that's rubbing people the wrong way, is she's like, if you get lucky like me, the saint, and you marry someone who's actually willing to do everything you want them to do, then you'll be okay, honey. But if they're not willing to like take direction and like be trained, then it's just not worth it. That I can see how people could read the video that way instead of what I'm sure she intended to be, like just a cautionary tale for women that was like ultimately lighthearted, especially because, like I said, when I joked about her putting him on an 18-month PIP plan, like that's the best way that I could summarize this whole video. Is if I had watched the full video before I made my thumbnail, I would have called it "Woman Puts Husband on 18-month PIP Plan," because that's basically what happened here. And to be honest, it does have humiliation ritual vibes, unfortunately. Like, I don't know, man. It's really hard to put the shoe on the other foot here, but if we do the gender swap, I don't think it's gonna survive, right? Like, if a man came on here and he was like, first of all, I'm just laughing at the idea of a man making a video why I almost divorced my wife, unless it was gonna be like a funny video. Like, that's what I would be expecting, is like, Listen, everybody, I almost divorced my wife today, okay? Because she told me that Chick-fil-A is better than Kentucky Fried Chicken. Like, that would be a funny video, you know what I mean? But I'm talking, he makes this video and he goes, this is why I almost divorced my wife, okay? We got together, things were amazing. She's a loyal woman, beautiful woman, very caring, great with my parents, you know, takes care of everything. And then the kids came along. First of all, full stop, the women would already hate him. They would already hate him at just the implication. At just the implication. When she said it, no implication fully. You know what I mean? I was kind of like, what's that mean? But I heard her out. But if a man was like, and then these kids, they would be like, put him on a list. What do you mean? You know what I mean? But then he goes on and he goes, and you know, I was working real hard. I was doing so much, and I was doing everything. I was doing everything around the house. People would be like, unlikely. That's not likely, you know? And then he's like, but you know, I laid it down and I was like, you're not seeing how hard I'm working. You need to work harder. And eventually she figured it out. It took her some time. It took her about 18 months. But eventually, you know, if you got the right one, if you pick the right woman, you know, you can make it all work out. It's already sounding very Andrew Tate. You know what I mean? Dylan said in regards to this, she told me she hates me. I believe her exact words were, I don't want to watch Doctor Who with you. See, you understood the assignment. Yeah, I don't think that it would translate very well. I don't know, man. If my husband made a video about me that was like why I almost divorced my wife and it was not a joke, and it was like actually talking about like true circling the drain at our lowest, that like we have not shared with like most of our closest family. I don't know, man. That would I can see why that rubbed people the wrong way. What are some of your guys' thoughts ultimately on Divorce Lady? Because I had this other video queued up. I was gonna respond or react to like another creator's reaction to it, just to see how other people ultimately end up viewing it, how we align. Because I did start watching a creator named Film Cooper's video on this, and he seemed to be extremely empathetic to her. He seemed to be thinking like, oh yeah, it seems like she communicated like an adult and was able to resolve her issues. Good for her. And it's like, I do agree with him to that extent. Because like I said, a lot of what she's describing is pretty relatable. Like most relationships go through hard times of miscommunication. Miscommunication is like the #1 form of all relationship disaster. You know what I mean? But where I kind of lose the empathy is when the partner shaming comes in. You guys know what I'm talking about? The whole like, I'm gonna put your worst moments on display for the entire internet to judge. Part of it is typically something that I'm like, we don't need that. We don't need that in a good relationship. Tracy Kent, thank you for the super chat, says, I work nights and have an 18-month-old and a 15-year-old to take care of. It's one of those things where you evolve and communicate your needs. Saturdays, hubby takes over childcare and I catch up on sleep. But yeah, communication, that's so funny that that's what it always comes back to. Have you guys tried talking to each other though? Oh man. What do you guys think? There's this is 19 minutes. We don't need to watch another creator's reaction to it. I'll just trust that we covered a decent good chunk of that one. But I don't know. That overall Dadvocate rating on that is like very mid-level partner shaming. She doesn't like, I don't know if this guy is an active part of her videos because like I said, it's been very hard for me to find this lady since. I'm pretty sure she just nuked her entire account and completely got offline because people hated this video. And I do wonder like why that is too, because a lot of times when women make videos like this, where they're like talking about, these are all the horrible things I've had to endure as a wife and a mother and a woman, there's generally some appeal to that crowd. Otherwise, they wouldn't feel so empowered to make so many of those videos, But this time it was like, man, she really got gobbled up and spit out by the wider internet for this one. And again, I think it was just the overall tone. I think it was just the overall, like, refusal to acknowledge that absolutely anything could have been a part she played. That there was absolutely no way that she did anything wrong. She was just literally doing it all, and he was just like super aloof and dumb until she fixed it. I think that just kind of rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, and it was a more unrealistic look at it, you know? Alden Fowler, thank you for the super chat, says, driving, have you in podcast mode? Should I just like switch all these over to a podcast someday? Just edit them down into a podcast? Is that something I should do? Should I just start podcasting? Okay. Next up, because I think we've thoroughly covered this lady. I think we've nailed that one down, and the final conclusion is she has fled the internet. So that's how that one ends. It is the lesson that we can learn from that one is, if you have issues with your spouse, do your best to take them up with your spouse. As long as both of you are trying, your relationship, it can be worked upon. That's the key. Just both of you try, communicate with each other, and maybe don't put it all over the internet if you don't want a million different sideways judgments, because that's what the internet does best. Does it real good, too. Oh man, is there a gaming stream scheduled? I probably should take a break and just do a gaming stream again. It's been a minute. Let me take a look into next week. And you guys, everybody email me at lauren@dadvocate.net and tell me what you guys want me to play. Maybe I'll put up a poll on YouTube based on like the best suggestions, but I'll play whatever you guys want me to play, honestly. So next up, let me cue this all up for us. Oh, damn it. Hold up. I gotta log into TikTok, which I usually hate doing because I get all my notifications that interrupt the video. Because apparently the video we're about to watch has sensitive content. It's not bad, y'all. It's not bad. I started to watch it. It's fine. Okay. Let me just... What can I do to entertain you guys while I'm logging in? Everybody put your... play another dating sim. I did the Daddy Dating Simulator a while back. That one was fun. BG3. I should finally play. I finally made a character, but I'm an idiot and I like forgot to pick my class, so it just auto barbarianed me, and I was kind of like, I can do a barbarian. That's fine. So I think I'm just gonna keep playing, just because like the beginning is really gross and I'm like, I find eyeball stuff absolutely terrifying, so I just don't want to have to do that again. So I'll probably just keep playing with my barbarian lady. Oh my god, how many steps to log in TikTok are there? How many woodchucks does it take to chuck a TikTok into... Do I not know my own password? This is very embarrassing and cringe for me, honestly. I'm just trying to show you guys this crazy video of a lady who gets caught cheating, and it's not making it easy on me, y'all. Not making it very easy. All right. Okay, I did change my password. That's right. There was a day that there was just like a million different attempts to log into my TikTok account, and so I was like,
I got a question for you.
For comfort. Yeah. We're just gonna change a Rooney around some things. Anyway, there's a super chat from Samantha that says, if you pick a co-op game members could play with. That's true. That's true. Maybe I'll pick some of you into a Stardew Valley farm. That would not be fun to watch. That'd be so boring. Yeah, you guys recommend games, though. I'll play pretty much anything. Elijah says, if we do Jackbox, we can play with a ton of us. I don't know what Jackbox is, but I'll find out. Maybe I'll even go back to Fortnite. One fun Lauren fact is that the very first time I ever played Fortnite, which is with my now stepson, I literally got a victory royale on my very first game. It doesn't happen like tremendously often, but that is one fun fact, and my Dylan will confirm. He can vouch for me. Okay, he was there. I don't know Jackbox, dude. Is my world about to change? Okay, anyway, someone sent this one to me. Oh man, I was talking to my husband about this one. Oh, by the way, TJ's here. TJ's here till like 1:45 if you guys want me to use any TJ cards. TJ, can you hear me? Do you want to watch that crazy cheating video I was telling you about where I was like, it's diabolical, some of the things this lady is saying? Or are you like, I'll pass, call me in for the next one? He said he could hear me, but now he's not responding. Oh, okay. Because the next one I was thinking about doing, hold on, I can't reveal my master list. Let's see. The next thing I was going to do was like a partner shaming story. And the Hinge story I was telling you about. If you have an a preferred option, I can call you in. Samantha says, I've got BG3, just saying. I forgot that's a co-op game. I did forget about that. Dude, if a bunch of us played BG3 together, that would be a really funny stream. Especially if I got you guys like up on the Discord. Oh man, that would be fun. Okay, I'll let TJ figure out whenever I did it again, whenever he wants to come back in. Okay. This one somebody sent to me says, husband confronts wife about cheating after 5 years of marriage.
What? Oh, don't worry about it. I was just, just doing something.
Oh, hold on. I gotta rewind a little bit.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
What? Oh, don't worry about it. I was just, just doing something.
Oh, like the TikTok or something?
Yeah, it's one of those things.
Oh, okay.
Diabolical.
Yeah, so
all around.
Where were you 4 weeks ago?
4 weeks ago, when? That's like a vague question.
When you went on that you said you were going to that place, that spot, that little food spot with Raven.
Oh, yeah. The White Bowl. Yeah.
Yeah.
Raven. And then we went shopping.
Were you really there?
Yeah. I told you that.
You sure about that?
Yeah.
What about 3 weeks ago with Sarah?
3 weeks ago. Oh, when we went swimming?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was with her too. Why are you acting like that though?
Okay.
How many of y'all are in full-on body analyst mode right now? Like, how many of you are suddenly, like, expert body forensic analysts, and you are just, like, honing in on every single, like, little smile or lip twitch or, like, blank look? Like, how many of y'all all of a sudden are just, like...
I told you this.
All right.
I'm trying to figure out what kind of TikTok video this is.
Yeah, so 2 weeks ago, you were going to that spot out a couple miles out with Brianna, right?
2 weeks. Okay, so we went from 4 weeks to 3 weeks. So 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, yeah, we went to the spa. That Asian spa I was telling you about that I wanted to go to.
Okay.
It's like that 24-hour one.
That's
Over-explaining.
That's enough.
What?
Why don't you just tell me who you're seeing?
I'm not seeing anyone. Why are you asking? That's a stupid question.
Who's Rick?
It's your brother.
I don't have a brother named Rick.
Or your
Ooh, I feel like I felt it all fall apart after that. Who's Rick? I feel like I felt her stomach fall into her butt. Did anybody else feel that, like, secondhand, like you just got caught red-handed ass? Ooh.
cousin or whatever.
It's not my cousin.
Why are you asking these questions?
What? He goes, who's Rick? She goes, isn't that like your cousin? He goes, he's not my cousin. She like tried to like, and he just, no.
It's a weird question.
Because you are cheating on me, and I was trying to see if you would come forward and tell me, like a natural person. Okay, so those messages in your phone where you were saying, "Oh, I love you. Oh, this is the best I've ever had. Oh man, I feel sore."
Why are you going through my phone?
Pause. These are the pros and cons of doing your own investigations, folks. Okay? This is one of the big reasons that people end up hiring private investigators, because, you know, they can make that choice of kind of protecting your feelings a little bit better. But, like, here's the thing. A lot of times when you go digging, you will find dirt. And some of the things you see, you cannot just unsee. Okay? And man, I think that's one of the worst ways to find out you've been cheated on. Is it's one thing if a person is just like, you know, you find out that like something is going on, but honestly, ignorance really is bliss, man. Because I don't know how many of you guys have actually like caught somebody and you like read the messages, but there's no coming back from that. She's saying, "I'm so sore," but not, "You're the best I've ever had." Oh, there is no recovery from that. That would eviscerate everything for me, dude. Michael says, "Rick is his brother, just ask him." I wasn't expecting that. You took me out with that one, Michael. Oh my God. That's funny.
Why would you be going through my phone, first of all, like that? Like,
also, hold up. There's so much I need to address here. Like, first of all, isn't it so crazy when they go straight to, "But why are you going through my stuff?" Don't get me wrong. Two things can be issues at once, right? Like, you can be cheating and it can be wrong to go through someone's stuff. But like, by the time that you have been so busted in 4K, like absolutely like pants down, your booty cheeks are showing like full ass to the crowd, like there's really no point in being like, "But how dare you?" Like, it's, I don't know, man. Is there really ever, like, a point to bring that up at that point? Like, you might as well just, because if it's such a problem for you that they went through your, and it's such a like, it's just, it's so game over at that point, man. I don't know. Also, I also want to draw attention to the fact that earlier when he said, it was in response to her asking, like, "Why are you doing this?" And he said, "Because I wanted to see if you would admit to anything." How many of you guys have been in that situation? You know what I mean? Like, obviously, I would love it if the grand majority, I would really love it if none of you have ever been cheated on in your lives. But how many of you were ever in that situation where you had your full hand? You had all of the receipts. You knew. But you just kind of waited it out to see how far are they going to take this. Because there's some of you, I admire you guys so much. I think you're so cool. TJ's that kind of guy. My best friend Jess is one of those types of guys. You know, the type who will just sit on stuff. And I'm like, how are you sitting on this bomb? Like, how are you just letting this tick away? Like, I would be exploding. I'm very confrontational. That's the beautiful thing about me and TJ's marriage, is that, like, I'm so confrontational. There is never a time that TJ does not know what is wrong. I can confidently say that. There is no, "What's wrong, babe?" "Nothing. I'm fine." It's, "Well, actually, this pissed me off." And I'm very, very vocal. It's like that John Mulaney bit where his wife is like, "I have a headache." Like, there is no question at any given time. You know what I mean? TJ's quoting it now too. But, oh man, to be able to just like wait to see, because I've talked to some of you guys who I've like talked to about your situations, and I've had some guys tell me, you know, if she would have come out to me about it on her own, I think that I would have stayed with her. But she waited for me to confront her, or she waited for someone else to rat her out, you know? And it's like, that's the part for a lot of people that's more unforgivable. And so he's doubly pissed because he's like, man, I gave you so many outs here. Zachary, thank you for the super chat. Says, I have a screen cap recording of my ex-wife's chat log with her affair partner for over 9 months. Every heartbreaking thing you can imagine. Man, it's so tough too, because when you've got something like that, like, you're almost like, do I delete this for self-preservation purposes, or do I need this for forensic evidence at some point? Because of this crazy legal system. And will it even be admissible due to federal laws? Hard to know. Hard to know. Zach goes on to say, capped it myself before the law was passed about invading someone else's phone. Don't really know if it's legal or not. I have it. It totally depends on the absolute lottery of whatever kind of judge you get. Everyone has such different interpretations of the law. Like, some people are like, well, if it's a shared family phone and they've given access to you in the past, then it's admissible. But other people are like, no, it's their property, it's not admissible. So depends on who you get. Anyway, we still have some of this left to watch.
Don't change the subject matter. Don't change the subject matter. What you trying to do?
You acting insecure.
Oh yeah.
Why are you going through my phone?
I really thought that was Jordan the Stallion at first. I'm sorry to take us so off track, but I'm like, is Jordan the Stallion really out here making cheating on my wife content? But like, it's just the bathroom, the whole way he does the style, the voice, you know what I mean? But then when we finally see his face, I'm like, that's not Jordan the Stallion.
There's no reason to do that.
Well, how many times are you going to apply your chapstick? Is it just me, or has she like nervously applied chapstick 17 different times throughout this video?
When you go through people's stuff, you find stuff you don't want to see.
Oh, so now you're gonna blame me for this then?
I'm just saying, you didn't need to go through my phone. Like, why are you going through my phone? And why are you... Stop recording.
I don't have to stop recording.
Oh my gosh, you acted extra. Always been insecure.
You know what? We're done.
Wow. So this went from, well, no, I wasn't cheating, I was with my girls, to, okay, so I was with Rick, but why did you go through my phone? You wouldn't have ever even had to learn any of that if you didn't go through my phone. So it's actually your fault that the reality now exists for you, when the reality could have been completely hidden from your reality. You could have just lived in a different reality. You could have held on to delusion, but it's your fault for choosing to go through my phone and learn the actual truth about what's happening to you. Like, why, you're so insecure. If it wasn't for your insecurities, the reality of me being so insecure that I have to get such egregious attention from so many different places that involves me becoming a duplicitous liar to multiple different people, it's actually you that's the problem, essentially. Man, this went from a lot of different directions. That smile sure is gone now too, but the lip gloss is popping.
Doing what?
Like, this marriage is over.
What are you talking about?
This is from my lawyers.
Why are you... Really?
Yeah, just...
You gotta be petty like that? Why are you recording?
So you're gonna gaslight me because you want to step on the marriage. Five years in this marriage, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you wanna go fucking cheat.
I mean, you're always working all the time anyway, so...
Oh, so it's my fault.
I wasn't cheating. I wasn't cheating.
Oh, so you just slipped and fell onto his dick then, huh?
I didn't fall onto anything. What are you talking about? There's nothing that you saw.
Wow, the mental scrambling and desperation is crazy. I think she hit a full bingo with like the cheater gaslighting. Well, actually, this is your fault, Olympics. Why are you going through my phone? Well, you weren't paying enough attention to me. And well, you did this to yourself. And well, I wasn't even really doing it for real because I don't know how much you know yet. And like, well, if you don't fully know all of the full details, then I think I might have some room to wiggle out of this. Like, all of the absolute mental gymnastics, the scrambling going on right now, she truly, like, you could hear it in her voice at the end there when she was like, well, you don't even know anything, do you?
And like I said, you shouldn't be going through people's phone. Like, that's my privacy.
You know what?
That's my privacy. You paying for
Get
it,
out.
You know what?
Look at you. Where's the ring? Where's the $500?
We're in the house. Who runs a ring in the house?
Where's the $5,000 ring? Where's the $6?
Like, stop.
You know what?
Wait a minute. Now I have to do some more investigating. What does he mean, where's the ring? They've been married for years, right? Let's see. I don't see a ring on that hand. Do we see her other hand on the... Wait a minute. She's not wearing any rings! Oh! Dun dun dun! Oh no! What a way to cap off the entire video. That's so something that I wouldn't notice until the end too, and I bet he's like, as unhappy as he is to be in the situation, like, what a cap off to the evidence in his divorce proceedings. This video full on catching his wife cheating, basically admitting to it, and then at the very end he's like, wait a minute, you're not even wearing your rings right now. Like, like, as if like the final cherry on top of the "you are blatantly cheating on me" cake is like, you're literally in the habit of not even wearing your rings at this point. That's crazy. Not the $5,000 ring just going missing. Oh no! He said, I'm using this for my lawyers. Man. That's the thing though, is I don't know if this would be admissible, honestly. I don't know. Because, how many states is false divorce the case in? I always forget. How many states have fault divorce? Oh wow. 33 states have both no fault and at-fault divorce options. These are often referred to as fault states. In a no-fault divorce, it's basically like you just get it. But even in a no-fault divorce, you still have to, like, say in front of the judge there were irreconcilable differences. It's kind of funny to me because, like, I was just watching this video. I wish I would have saved it, actually, where someone was reacting to basically, like, getting a divorce. And they were like, even though I agreed with the divorce, it still hurt to hear him say that the reason for the divorce was because of irreconcilable differences and a breakdown in the marriage. I'm like, people don't realize this, but you actually, like, legally have to say that to get a divorce. Like, if you go into the courthouse and they're like, has there been an irreparable breakdown of your marriage? And you say no, they won't grant you the divorce. Isn't that crazy? Some people don't realize you could be denied a divorce. It can happen. Chaos Shadow says, if you played Baldur's Gate 3, don't use your obviously superior Riz to steal Shadowheart from me. Good to see you. I don't know who my crush will be, but probably the Red Demon Lady, honestly. I'm leaning toward her. And then I want to know specifically if, like,
it's gonna be the Red Demon.
My husband knows my type. That's so funny. But yeah, I'm curious if, like, in false divorces, if there's, like, a whole thing where you have to, like, present evidence, like a whole evidentiary trial where, like, something like this may or may not be submitted. I've got to imagine they do, and that's the way it works. So, I mean, 33 states, that's actually a majority by a long shot. I don't know why I thought it was so much less, because don't a lot of people complain, like, we should bring fault divorce back? Like, I feel like that's a very common, like, often right-leaning, but I don't know, maybe there are left-leaning people who also want fault divorce back. I have mixed feelings. I like the idea of fault and no fault options, because I've always said, like, you should be able to get a divorce for any reason you want. Like, you shouldn't even need the other person's approval. Like, if you want a divorce, you should be able to get it. But if there is fault proven, that you don't, like, get all the usual stuff. You know what I mean? You're not anymore entitled to the 50-50 division of assets at that point. You know what I mean? Or something. I feel like you should even get a greater distribution of assets depending on, you know, that, because I don't know, that's the way I feel. I feel like people shouldn't be able to just absolutely cheat on you and then, like, take half your retirement. That seems whack to me. But what are your guys' thoughts about this husband confronting his wife? Do you think that it was the appropriate thing to do? Do you think that it will be admissible in court? Do you think it won't be admissible in court? Do you think that it actually is, if it is admissible in court, do you think that it is surefire enough evidence that she did cheat? Do you think that in these states that reward less to those who have committed faults within the marriage, do you think that a judge might look upon this and be like, no touching his money anymore? Or do you think they would just be like, cheating doesn't matter? Because some people really do think that. Some people really are like, I don't think cheating should have an effect on how assets are divided. Some people are like, here's one thing I actually do agree with, is when it comes to family court, a lot of people don't really think that cheating should play a large part in determining child custody. And I tend to agree with that. I don't think that cheating plays a... It's tough to say, though, because obviously I can't say cheating doesn't play a role in how you raise your children, because if your child finds out that you're a cheater, that will affect their relationship with you. Absolutely. It will affect their trust in you, very likely. That argument can be made. You know what I mean? But overall, as like a really hard-hitting argument for why to separate them, I guess if the circumstances of the cheating were like particularly duplicitous, I'm talking like entirely depriving the family of finances to fund some other mistress or mister or something like that, or like you've damaged or like ruined a lot of the family's items or given them away to some dude or something, then I could imagine them taking that into consideration and being like, your affairs put the child in danger. You know what I mean? It would have to be pretty severe, I think. But I don't know. I'm curious to hear what you guys think. Let's see. Oh, Foxy Grandpa says the texts might be admissible, but not the video. A lot of people are very like, about text messages, because some people are like, they can be too easily faked, so we won't accept them. In my jurisdiction, they seem to. From what I get to watch on local Zoom court, because I'm nosy. Ryan Downing, thank you so much for the super chat, says, do you have time to explain what false divorce is? Yes. I'll give you the definition that I had pulled up here on Google. In a fault-based divorce, the grounds for divorce are based on the misconduct of one party, such as adultery, abuse, abandonment, or a felony conviction. About 2/3 of states allow fault-based divorce, giving individuals the option to seek divorce based on another spouse's actions. Give me a super quick breakdown of how fault divorce works. I want more. I too want more of the juicy details. In a fault-based divorce, one spouse claims the other is responsible for the marriage's breakdown and must prove this to the court. So, okay, the onus is definitely on the one claiming it. This might involve proving things like adultery, cruelty, or abandonment. If proven, the at-fault spouse may face consequences like reduced alimony or a smaller share of marital assets. So pretty much exactly what I thought it was. So interesting. Okay. Proving fault, the spouse filing for divorce must present evidence to the court demonstrating the other spouse's misconduct. Cool. Good to know. Jojo says, as an Arab, I really wish we had a similar law for people wanting to get married. They must get a license first, because the divorce rate here is effing high. Oh, do you not have to apply for a marriage license? It doesn't really matter that we have to apply for one, because no one's, like, testing our marital competency at all before we get married. No one, like, has you take a test to be like, do you understand that this is what you're legally agreeing to? Like, do you understand that if you divorce, this is how your local area's laws work on that? Like, there is nothing like that that they hand you. They're just like, oh, you want to get married? Here's the thing. Have some random person who took a 10-minute course online sign it. It's me. I'm that person. I'm an officiant, and that's definitely what I did. Was that you laughing? I even got you. I got TJ from the other room. Nailed it. Making my husband laugh. Victory. Victory Royale. Oh, man. Okay. Oh, this one is a video. Okay, so someone sent me... Next up, on our watch list. Someone sent me this one. All right, I can make this a little bit bigger for y'all. Someone sent this to me as some potential partner shaming. I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say about this. Actually, let's get a dual husband opinion. Hey, babe.
Yes.
Can I use a TJ card?
Yes.
I'll pull up the chair for you. Oh, I'm already hungry again. High protein diets got you eating, man. And I did go for a really long walk with Miles. Okay. What would you do if, let's say, like in the middle of the day, while you're at work, while you're at the farmer's market, while you're out with a friend, while you're out at the grocery store, at some point in your day, I send you this video. Oh, that one kills me, though. That one kills me. Aggressive, just kidding. This one's... Now we're getting... I feel like we're getting a little nitpicky.
No, because I know that was you right there. Air in the sink.
Oh...
Okay.
The aggressive one.
You know what though? I appreciate it, and it's also kind of like that.
Some of these are pretty egregious. The protein powder all over the counter was
Protein,
like,
and like obviously, like she was setting some stuff up to be like, you know, she staged it to be like, when this this is not okay. But it was done obviously humorously, and it was in a sense to where it's like,
I was not expecting that.
Yeah,
that was the worst one for
she
sure.
did it. It's one of those things where certain people will try to tell a joke, and it's like, oh, you're just being bigoted without making a point. And then there's some people who like will tell a joke, and it's like you're actually like making a societal comment, and you're surprising us with something. And it's like it was like that was a well thought out skit. Even just the sense of like, instead of you being like,
I don't think it was well thought out necessarily.
it was the concept was a
organic,
great,
but
yeah,
she was ready. She was ready with the finger.
Like everything was staged.
She'd
and
been
it was
thinking
very,
about
like,
this for a while, but it's
Yeah.
like, but you always have to wonder. Like people always ask this kind of stuff on my partner shaming videos. They're like, "Well, did she set it all up
That's
like
what I'm
that
saying,
to make
is
the video?"
I'm sure she staged this. Like it's just mostly this.
Oh, like
part.
makes up like the messy husband.
No. Like this is stuff the husband does. And my whole prompt is here. My wife just sent me this video in the sense that she just made this video. So now here's my thing.
That's another thing is the wives when they send it to their husbands really passive aggressive.
I think that's hilarious. I think it's hilarious. Like if you sent this to me, I would laugh so hard if you sent this to me. I'd be like, okay. Because it's like,
damn, all my other attempts of like,
dude, it was I'm like, this would get me. I'm like, this is hilarious. This is exactly like the kind of humorous like SpongeBob pulling the like
that's
like it's exactly what this felt like.
There are definitely times where like I will text TJ a picture of something and be like, why is this like this? and obviously it would be funnier if I had a big pointer finger every time and it was just like more of a meme. But my approach, I feel like I kind of do this, but definitely not publicly. Like,
no,
I'm not,
but
yeah,
this is still. Like, but my thing is,
unless it's something really funny that you did. For example, when you lost the Folgers can lid and you like made one. I don't even remember what you made it out of, but I was
don't
like,
even remember that, dude.
It was like one of my earliest videos, and I was like, look at this improvised Folgers lid my husband made.
We don't do Folgers no more.
Yeah, we've truly evolved our coffee
because
game.
I'm a
Thank
little,
God.
I'm a little coffee bitch.
You are a little coffee
I'm a-
bitch. That's so funny. It's a little bit me though too.
I'm
You
a
know me-
not. I'm not.
what is
I'm
it, like,
I'm a big old
Pete's?
coffee bitch,
Isn't
dude.
that the
I
one that I'm
love-
obsessed with?
You like Frederick's.
Fredericks, that's right.
'Cause
Yeah,
that's
I
like-
love Fredericks. It's so good.
So it's it's
Wait. Before you say that, you hold that thought. Don't want to lose mine. I was going to say this. Someone also said it was gross that she touched the toilet seat and then the protein shaker bottle.
I'm sure she washed it in between takes, guys. I'm just saying we didn't watch her like move immediately from that
That's
in a
true.
continuous
That's
shot. We can.
We have reason to believe that there could.
I'm going to just use an educated guess from the tone of the rest of this video.
That she's
She
a clean
probably
person.
thought about cleaning it between takes. That's going to be my I think kind of safe. I could be wrong. But I think because of the way that they executed it with this remained like the concept, it never aired into like eye rolling. It was all very like memey. I don't know how else to say it. And I know that word actually existed before like the 2010s or whatever, but it's very memey in the sense of like, it's just satirical enough to where we're like, okay, all right, yep, no, that would piss me off too, yep, ooh, hair in the sink, yep. Or when people are going like, oh, I hate when they leave the empty, and then it goes aggressive, you're like, you're fucking right! You know, it's one of those, because it's presented so silly, clownish almost.
Yes.
It makes the shaming, it's not a shame, it becomes suddenly not approachable, what's what I'm looking for? Not understandable, like relatable. For both the person who is the finger, but it also becomes safely relatable for the person who's like, oh no, oh, am I making my partner do the angry hand when I am the last.
Yeah, it's in the safety zone.
It's in the safety zone,
yeah,
exactly.
Like there are some times that people will send me partner shaming videos, like expecting me to get really angry, but I watch it and I can tell from the tone, like, these people do like each other. This was not made with like very ill intent. Like this, I don't think this person was actually trying to
Right.
cause harm to their spouse. I think that this was definitely overall meant to be like a silly, funny
100%.
video, and I think that they probably do have their spouse's consent. Especially like, it wouldn't surprise me if I went to this person like the Dashleys. I bet you will find the husband participating. You know what I mean? Like in other videos, especially because it's like that's not how you spell anything. The Dashleys. Oh yeah, look, the whole family. Involved. Like there he is. He's in all of the videos. So like,
now
yeah,
with
this is a
even
real
more
partnership,
context,
man.
it's even more in good fun.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
it's-
they're good. They actually like each other. That's fine.
That's the thing. It's
this
the
one
difference.
passed the partner shaming vibe.
It's the difference between like gentle ribbing, even not non-gentle ribbing. Like I'll say, like there's times, and like at our gaming table, we will go we'll go so hard on people sometimes. Like John, if you're watching this, God bless you, man. Like, but it's one of those like
honestly, like
it's just
gentle ribbing.
it's
You
the-
threw him in a spiky, torturous machine where he was ground
He was
into
stabbed.
John beef.
I did that. The party didn't. I didn't even do it. The vampire and bats did that. I simply manifested it upon the table. But and it was a good time for all. You can find that on my YouTube page, by the way. But you got to look back a
I
while.
was gonna say that one's an oldie.
That's an
but
old.
a
That's from like the
goodie.
last year ago. Yeah.
Oh man. Okay, let's see. I love TS says your reaction to that first video is the healthiest reaction that I've seen. Women shouldn't have to write a list, but if they are honest, they've already listed what needs to be done in their head. That's what I'm saying. It's like, look, it's like a really bad faith approach to it for people who do watch that video and say, well, she shouldn't have to make a list because she already listed it all out for him the night before. Because
No.
it's like, okay, so do you remember every single thing a person says to you if you don't write it down or put it anywhere? And like, maybe the onus is also on him that maybe he should be making the list in the moment as soon as she says it. Perhaps.
I guess my thing is like I'll write a list, but I think you eventually realized, and I've expressed this, I know in words, but instead of like sticky notes, we finally just started using the wall thing. But you'll put what your highest priority chore is for me, and so that I'm like, okay, on my list of things, I'm like, work on the basement. But she's like, I'm gonna set the kitchen on fire if it's if it gets messier and nobody does anything, please. So it's like I get the like got it like, and I just write like dishes or make sure the kids do this because it's like I'm gonna be gone or this, that, or the other thing. To where it's like I know what when you walk in the house you're gonna go, gosh, I hope this is done. And it's like to me, and it might just be my Labrador Retriever husband mindset of like bro, we're chill. Like unless you're suddenly like we're not chill, I'm like bro, we are not chill. Like if I find out we're not chill, like DEFCON 1.
I knew you were gonna say that.
And then once it's done, we're back to chill. And it's like that's the difference between lab husband and golden retriever husband, in my opinion.
Yeah,
But-
we have a shared family calendar, and like we've been complimented on it actually because people will come over and they're like, I can tell that literally everyone contributes to this. Like everybody is constantly adding things to it, and it's we've been doing this pretty consistently for like a good few years, and it's truly like the heart of our family. Like I know some people have like grown to a more digital version, and like maybe it would be smart. Yeah, we can't do it.
I
just
found
can't.
out it
Like,
started when I got like diagnosed with ADHD, and one of the suggestions that I kept seeing pop up in my algorithm was big calendar somewhere that you're always walking or always sitting and you always have to walk by, so you're gonna check it, so put it somewhere that you're always gonna walk by. And it's ever since then,
it's the heart of our home.
every
dude,
year. I
that
love it.
calendar.
I love
We
buying
love
the calendar.
How much do we spend on it every year? It's like the FedEx version. You can
You
get it
go
for,
to
like,
FedEx, but you go like literally January 1st or 2nd. It's marked down like at least 40% because it's the new year. It doesn't even start on December. Like it starts on January.
Because it'll be like $8 to $10 like before the new year, which is when you want to buy a calendar. But if you can hold out those couple of days, you can get it for like $4.
Truly.
$4 and your marriage will survive everything.
It's
the best advertisement for a FedEx calendar of all time.
well, and
dude.
it's so nice
Doing
because
free
like
charity work for FedEx over here.
it's so nice because like I get to go in and I immediately get to write my work schedule. So now when you go in, because you have just more time to look things up even while you're doing work, to where you can do more social planning than I can working with patients, you know, to where it makes sense. But now you have parameters with like, he will be with us for this, he cannot be with us for this. I can message him, but he can't get, you know, and it's one of those, like, it lets everybody know. I'll know weeks ahead of time if you're doing a 5K, for God's sake. Sometimes I'll know like 3 days beforehand. Like, who, it doesn't matter. It's still like, a lot of times I'm more fly by the seat of my pants, comfortability wise. Like, I could be pushed to that point and go, okay.
That was one of the funny things you missed it earlier when we were covering the woman who was like, why I almost divorced my husband. And she brings up, she's like, men have more time for their hobbies. And I'm like, well, don't you guys get to decide that together in the marriage? Like, don't you guys actually plan that? I was like, for example, like the 5K and stuff, like I just put it on the calendar if nothing else is there. And then
I got nothing marked on this, so it won't give anything away. But someone asked how big the calendar was.
Oh yeah.
Like it's I don't even know how to scale this properly. Let me get this in. It's pretty big. I'd say maybe like two by 2.5 feet. It's a big calendar. And there's like lines on every there's like lines going across. You get like 5. It's great.
And it tells you like the really big stuff. Like I never know when Easter is.
It has a lot of holidays.
It always dances around.
It has a lot of holidays. It has Diwali, it has Ramadan, it has Passover.
Yes. So it's a good boy. We love that thing. Anyway, hold on, I missed a super chat. I think I missed a couple super chats. Let me scroll back a teeny tiny bit. Okay.
Earth Day.
It's got Earth Day. Sabrer, thank you so much for the super chat. Says context definitely matters too. In a safe, respectful relationship would be funny plus convey helpful info. If we're disrespectful or passive aggressive anyway, not so funny. Yeah, intent really matters, especially with like some of these videos people tag me in. Like people will be like, I think that this was super disrespectful to the husband, and I'm like, I think the husband was in on it. So it depends. Doom for Zombies, thank you for the super generous super chat. Says, oh, I was so surprised. Didn't mention that women who did a hit piece on you trying to say you were dehumanizing men by calling them golden retriever boyfriend. Oh, but oh my gosh. Yeah. Just to give you guys a free little teaser, because the me reacting to the hate video is not out to the general public yet, but patrons and YouTube members, if you have the extra cash, but don't worry about it. It will be out to you soon. But yeah, when I was reacting to her video, at one point, I said something like, oh, you know how these golden retriever husbands are? They're like if you give a mouse a cookie, if you tell them to go take the dogs outside, they'll start fixing the fence. Like, it was just kind of like a throwaway thing. Like, I feel like we all use the term golden retriever boyfriends, but this is something that it's not even the first time that someone who has tried to nitpick my content will point out. They're like, oh yeah, you compare men to dogs, so you don't really like men as much as you say you do, huh? And I'm like, I can't explain this to you. Like, I don't have the spoon.
I mean, if that's the stance you're going to take, if that's the stance you're going to take, then women love men universally more than society would have us believe if they're being actually compared to dogs.
I gotta set up my webcam to be more pointed at the ground or something so I can start Miles' cam. He's always in my lap. You guys just can never tell. Golden Retriever husband was a term coined by ladies, no? Maybe I can find this out.
I mean...
Who coined the term Golden Retriever husband? Some people are really like language historians. The term Golden Retriever husband is a popular term that describes a boyfriend or husband with traits similar to those of a Golden Retriever, such as being friendly, playful, kind, trusting, sociable, and easygoing. Aren't Golden Retrievers also like notoriously inbred?
I mean, they're very...
Maybe I was being insulting. I forget. I feel like that's what the lady from VI Pets told us yesterday. No, it wasn't her. It was someone else that was telling me that. No,
They can be. I mean, any puppy that you buy from, like, breeders has a chance. That's why mutts are generally safer, usually, anyway. But
it says, while it's difficult to pinpoint a single individual who coined the term, its usage gained significant traction on platforms like TikTok and gained a wide following, particularly in connection to Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce.
No, that's AI. That's the AI thing. Go farther down. See if it gives us anything more with a source.
Everyone just is talking about Taylor and Travis. Do they really just get to own everything? Okay. Yeah, no, but it's actually just misandry, apparently. Misandry suddenly exists when you're trying to take apart someone who's anti-misandry, I guess. Fluffing Fluff, thank you for both your username and the super chat. A quick and completely unrelated side note, but I would love to see you guys react to Tony the homie from LC Sign. Think you guys gonna like his videos.
Tony the homie.
Let me write it down in my notes. I have no idea who that is. Tony the homie.
I think it's IE.
What?
I don't know if it may. Oh, it is. Sorry.
I was like,
oh, homie. Sorry.
I spelled everything the way Fluffing Fluff spelled it.
That was my bad.
I don't even have a no bottle in here right now. I'm naked.
Spray me?
I'm naked. Yeah, I was gonna jokingly grab it, but oh, I do have one. I lied. It's just further away, and I didn't have the there. But yes. Congrats, new YouTube members. You also can use the super no emoji if you ever need to. We might need it, okay? Because what do I have next? Yeah, this is the one I was telling you about, babe. Let me pull this up for those who like to read along to Reddit stories.
I thought we were...
Oh, yeah, wait, I think we were done reacting to the partner shaming. I think we covered it.
Mm-hmm,
don't you?
Mm-hmm.
I think so. That's not what I meant to do. Oh, God. Why am I not able to just... Hold on. Can you... No, I gotta shrink it a little bit more. I don't want to rob you of any of this precious, precious text, folks. Viennery, thank you for the super chat. If men are like doggos, women are like cats. Misogyny! No, people have been saying that forever. There was even a creator that I have since made a video about who used to have a series that was like women as different types of cats. And it would be like black cat women, calico women, and then she did like men as different types of dogs. But that creator kind of fell off, I gotta admit, for multiple reasons. Okay. This Reddit post is posted under r/guy cry. Love that Reddit. It's a good one. Says, girl was messaging me on Hinge while she was on a date with me. Venting, advice welcome. For context, we're classmates at the same medical school, so they didn't meet through a dating app. Okay, I feel like that might be relevant context. Took a girl out on a date to a pretty solid restaurant. For most of the night, we were having a great time and laughing. After about 3 hours at the restaurant, we decided to go to a bar that she suggested. The place had a decent amount of people, but wasn't all that great in my opinion. I still tried to make the most of it. So, okay, I think maybe we could interpret from this that he was starting to become, like, bored of the bar. So maybe she's, like, internalizing that as, like, oh, well, if you can demonstrate boredom. I don't know. I'm guessing here. Hold on, I'm also going to steal the focus back from my camera. Or at least try to. Dang, the impenetrable TJ gaze, apparently. She seemed a bit... Oh, wait. Here we go. Sorry, I went too far ahead. While at the bar, I noticed that she's responding to people on Hinge, messaging during our date. After the third or so time seeing her do this, I basically called it and asked her, so is Hinge treating you well? I was honestly trying to get to know her and see where things go, but I honestly found that to be so disrespectful that I just couldn't take her seriously anymore. She seemed a bit annoyed and embarrassed. She asked me why I was looking at her phone. By this point, I had about 3 espresso martinis in me, so honestly, I just didn't care anymore.
Okay.
He's living his life.
You know what?
He is
You did make the best of it, dude. Why did you ruin a good thing? You were making the best of it.
Yeah, he said I still tried to make the most of it. He was making the most of it. 3 espresso martinis. He is having like a hot boy
It's
summer.
treating you well. Throws a 4th one back.
They're not, I don't think
Tosses
espresso
it.
martinis are like, I don't know. When I had one, I didn't feel like crazy drunk off. I guess it depends on who makes it.
He had 3.
Yeah,
Not
3
one.
is gonna do ya. Maybe he's a big dude though. We don't know. We don't know. Anyway, but he didn't care anymore. I decided I was just going to have my own fun by shooting the shit, treating it like a platonic hangout. Since there was no way in hell I'd let this move beyond that. So like, I guess these are some examples of ways that he was like just giving up on the date. He said, by the way, you know, virtually every girl I've been on a date with has talked about that manifesting and law of attraction thing that you mentioned, right? Thanks for bringing me here. This is the perfect place to take a girl out on a date.
You're laying it on a little thick. You're being a little whiny.
Okay, so he is like...
I get it.
You're talking to other... But don't you think she kind of deserves it a little bit? Because he's kind of feeding her
No,
back.
he should have walked away.
I agree. He should have left.
He's being a whiny little baby now. It's
I
like
think he might be having some fun. Because here's the thing, is it's like, she didn't really do something too dissimilar, right? By, like, it's like you could wait until your date is over to start a new date. But here she is, like, literally talking to other guys while out on a date. Like, she could literally just wait until she gets home to open that app, to respond to messages. I think it is disrespectful, and it is annoying.
It is. I mean, she shouldn't have done that, but it's also like...
out. So he's trying to, like, make the point of, like, yeah, you having fun on Hinge? Man, I was just looking around this place, and I was also thinking what a great place would be to take a different person that's
Yeah,
not
if it was
you.
like immediately, if it was immediately after, perfect. Like, great kind of little dunk button, but I hope this turns out that he, like, walks away after he was sassy.
Yeah, the fact that he kind of, like, keeps her there, and he's not, like, keeping her there, right? Like, she's free to leave as well.
Dude, for sure.
But the fact that he's, like, keeping it going instead of being like, I gotta admit, like, we've had a fun 3 hours, but that really turned me off.
Yeah.
Like, I think he needed to be a bit more clear
Yeah,
there.
that's all I'm saying. That's all. Now, if it turns out he just, like, was sassy, like, right after she tried to, like, you know,
Yeah, like,
obviously...
my line was funnier.
Sorry, what?
I said my line was funnier.
Okay.
He should have taken a... No, not funnier than yours.
What?
I'm saying my line that I used was funnier than his. The whole, like... Oh, how's Hinge treating you?
My bad,
You know?
my bad.
Yeah, sorry, I
I
wasn't...
misunderstood.
I was like, oh no, I wasn't like, I'm being funnier than you, babe. Can you just can it? Like, oh my god, that did come off so insulting. Watch me accidentally hurt my husband's feelings on live
Labrador.
stream.
Labrador.
Oh god, I'm like the embarrassment and guilt I feel now.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Anyway, Elijah gave a super chat. Thank you, Elijah, for breaking the tension. So thanks again, Lauren and TJ. Hope you have a great day. I'm heading out. I look forward to watching your next stream. Hell yeah. Maybe we'll do that gaming stream after all. Anyway, so he's got some snarky lines. He says, I wasn't consciously intending to, but I think some of the stuff I said may have hurt her feelings.
No, dude, admit it. Like, you were
trying to get her back. You were trying to get her back. And that's okay.
Again, like I'm saying.
And that's okay. I'm for it. I'm for giving her a little bit of her own medicine in this case.
Yes, I am for that.
A little bit.
I just want to see how this goes, because in my head originally he was like, well, I'm just going to stick around then and stay for a while and be with her. I was like, well, that's not okay, pal. But it sounds like this is all happening like bam, bam, bam. So I'm withholding my initial judgment. He's allowed to be sassy.
Yeah, this one, the whole, like, I was just thinking this is the perfect place to take a girl that's not you. Like, that one's funny. But when he's like, literally everybody talks about the law of attraction. Like, that's a different kind of insulting, because now we're not just like, hey, so we're not taking each other seriously romantically anymore, right? Like, we know that now. Let's just talk about other people we could date then. Like, now you're taking it to, like, insulting her personal interests, and, like, that can definitely make a person insecure, you know what I mean? Like, he's basically saying, hey, the things that you're interested in are overplayed and stupid, right? And then that's where she's probably like, okay, that now my feelings hurt. He's definitely going a little overboard with it. He's definitely choosing to be meaner, I think.
Yeah.
She ended up getting upset and saying I was putting her in a box with every other girl and was laughing at her. Well, I mean, yeah, that's what I just described. Yeah, that is what he was doing. And that she regrettably said far too much tonight. Our school is filled with drama, and so we spilled tea to each other. Oh no, the past 3 hours he's been like,
girl.
She's been like, and this person's sleeping with this person. Now she's like, and now not to be trusted.
You know what's gonna be, and again, I'm assuming what he's telling us is true.
Yeah, we're gonna take it at face value. It's a Reddit story.
What if she didn't think of this as romantic from the get-go? And she was like, I can goss with one of my girls now. He's a safe person for me to, like, kind of dish with, because...
Well, then we still have to keep taking it at face value. You said took a girl out on a date to a pretty solid restaurant. I will say, if you're a girl and even if you're like, if you talk to a friend you meet at nursing school, and you're like, hey, we should really see each other outside of here, and he's like, great, I got us a reservation at Mangiani's, then you're not going to be like, as a woman, if you are like, my friend is paying for me to go out to eat, you're being willfully obtuse.
Right. I missed they went to, like, a nice restaurant.
Yeah. I was like, I mean, maybe, but I thought they were like
at a bar or something, like, maybe, but it's very much clearly a date.
Yeah.
No, you're in medical school. You're not missing the subtext.
Yeah. Nurse behavior. I hate to say that because we know plenty of non-hoary nurses, but the stereotype is a little funny sometimes. All right. Anyway, he keeps going on. He says, let's see. After she says she regrets spilling as much tea as she did, he says, at my suggestion, she called her Uber and left shortly after. I ended up walking home. At my suggestion, he was like, how about you just get an Uber home? Okay, I think it's time for you to leave. And she's just like, oh, okay. Goes to Hinge for consolation. Fuck. Like, again, that was a really shitty thing of her to do, to be on Hinge in the middle of the date. Mm-hmm. But was this overkill, y'all? I'm curious what you guys think. He goes on to say, I remember sometime during the date, while we were at the restaurant, she asked me what my attachment style was. So yeah, definitely a date. People don't ask friends that. They could, but, like, because of course she did. Okay, yeah, you were being a condescending bitch, dude. Of course she asked my
That's my thing, is I'm like, I got this from the very first, right until she was on Hinge. I'm like, I'll bet you wore, like, this, oh god, okay, this is no offense to the person who wrote this. It sounds like Joe from You wrote this. Like, it sounds like this is iteration. Like, you showed up with, like, $100 jeans on and a black turtleneck and a brown sport coat, and you're like, she asked me what my attachment style was. Of course she did. And so I told her that it was this. I was only mildly joking. And it's like, dude, he takes himself, and again, Maybe you'll prove me wrong, but the way that this guy writes sounds very self-important. Like his farts don't stink. Anyway, let's continue.
Well, this is where it gets interesting because he says that his attachment style is avoidant, which if you don't know anything about attachment styles, that's like the worst one. It's like being a Scorpio in the Gemini or the astrology world. People hate that. That's like the worst one you can possibly be.
Can I go outside?
Thanks, babe. Yeah, the avoidant style is, I mean, it's in the name, right? You just avoid everything. He says I was quasi-joking, but I do think there was some truth in that. I honestly think a lot of people aren't shit these days, and I'm not... Oh, God, I can't read this without TJ. Not after he just said, I get the feeling this guy is going to go on to sound really self-important. The very next sentence was, I honestly think a lot of people aren't shit these days, and I'm not as emotionally available anymore.
You're so,
I
enlightened, dude.
The word self-important was the word you used.
Mm-hmm. You're so much smarter than the rest of us.
And that date was a perfect example of why. I ended up spending about $200, and I wasn't even given the basic courtesy of not being blatantly treated like another option. Which, again, this frustration I can completely get behind. Like, that's so annoying that you, like, took this girl out on this really nice date and she couldn't just wait until the end of it to go on Hinge. Like, you're not entitled to anything just because you spent $200.
Right.
Absolutely. You're not entitled to anything. But, like, bare minimum, like, don't just start another date in the middle.
Right. No, there should have been some, like you said, some common courtesy, 100%. But
this should not be your black pill arc. This should not be like your immediate pipeline, like to straight to MGTOW. You know what I mean? Fluffing Fluff, again, thank you for another super chat. Says, as a man, I really don't mind paying. However, to avoid dinner, 304s. Don't you think that's a little bit of like a tiny myth? Like, it exists, but I don't think most women are just trying to get food. I think it's because that is a little bit of an effort to, you still have to be entertaining for the food to some degree, unless you're just using that as a general, like, they'll just go out with anybody, I guess. I would ask them to meet an hour before dinner so we can have a coffee together. Any red flags, I'm out. I like coffee first dates. I do like them. Anyway, he keeps going. Mind you, I'm a medical student, yeah, we know, so it's not exactly rolling in the dough right now. Honestly, though, I'm not even sad. I'm just extremely annoyed. It's not about the money either. It's the fact that I could have instead used the time she wasted studying. In medical school, there's not enough time, and so if you make time to see someone, it's a huge deal, but she wasn't worth it. In the past, this experience would have put me in a bad headspace, but I've grown up immensely these recent years. I'm in a great position both emotionally and professionally. Without going into details, there's a high chance I end up becoming a plastic surgeon, and I am excited by the future. This is a little bit too much over-explaining, dude.
yeah.
Just love yourself. You don't need to sell us. You don't need to sell us on you unless you're trying to, like, get some Reddit broads or something. With that said, I might actually unironically be avoidant now because there's so many people who treat people as though they're disposable these days, and I know I deserve better. No, don't double down on your avoidant behavior. What do you mean? No. For those of you who read this, thank you. What are some of the comments saying? Yeah, if someone can't have a conversation or be bothered to interact on a date, rather is texting friends mid-conversation or playing some stupid game or messaging people from a site, that's not someone I want to take out again. I had a girl genuinely get mad at me for pointing out that stuff during a date. I find that to be very disrespectful. I'm not going to be messaging my friends or playing Candy Crush while she's talking. She legit considered it multitasking and saw no problem with it.
Now,
I'm the same way.
Yes,
I'm the same kind of person.
Yes, I will also say the neurospicy brain, especially in younger folks, especially if they're not emotionally committed to a person yet, might consider, especially if they're unmedicated, might consider it multitasking. Also, I would argue this is a sign that you also kind of have to, like, the times have changed, and while we don't have to accept that as the new norm, maybe we should meet the times halfway, in the sense of, like, you've just given yourself another conversational in, where it's like they're playing someone's like, hey, what game is that? They might be embarrassed, but like, oh no, it's something. No, you know, I mean, it's fun. I'm curious. You can suddenly talk. This is the game that I play all the time sometimes, and it's like maybe it's the same game, or maybe you've heard of it. It's like, dude, I have that too, and now you can. It's.
I think it's a good time to like yes and that.
Yes,
because,
yes.
Yeah, like I like your take, but at the same time, like I would hope that Like, you could be like, oh, what game are you playing? Anyway, I was kind of hoping that this would be more of a face-to-face thing and we could put screens away. You
Right.
know what I mean? Like, because that's something we're kind of working on with our teenager right now, is like, I try to have these conversations with him where I'm like, listen, I know, as one of your moms, that you are fully capable of playing a video game while watching an anime, while translating a book, and you can hear what I'm saying. And if I ask you to repeat it, you'll be able to. But you need to understand that most people will not. And the way it will come across to most people is that you're ignoring them.
I've explained that.
So
I've explained that to him.
that's why I said we're working on it with him. You know what I
It's-
mean? Like, it's because that's how he's comfortable, and in our house he should feel comfortable to do as many things as he wants. But it's also, you know, like in certain settings when we're out to eat, it's like if there's a moment where like two other people are talking and you want to respond to something really quick on your phone, or like if you want to be like, hey, do you mind if I just respond to something really quick? Like, there's an appropriate way of doing things, but like, if you're in a social setting like that, obviously it's generally, especially one-on-one, like, it's generally considered pretty rude. Like, I've had a couple girlfriends in the past where like I would hang out with them and they would just like be constantly on their phone like while I'm trying to talk to them, and I'm just like, man, this is not like one of those coexisting settings. Like, we're literally at Chili's. Like,
Right.
if we're at my house, then like, sure, let's just coexist and do our own thing in like our own living room. But like, I came here to eat and talk to you, not like eat by myself and we both stare at our phones. Like, this is so awkward. So I do agree, that is like one of those really annoying things that a lot of people do. Dylan said, forget I said anything. What's Balatro? Am I gonna regret Googling this? Deck building roguelite.
Oh, I've
It's
heard about this.
roguelite. Whenever Dylan describes that type of game, I've been thinking he was saying roguelike.
He is.
This says light.
That's kind of like a play on word. Look, Balatro is a
Oh,
poker
but
and
it's
a roguelike.
also a roguelike.
Yeah, they're calling it a roguelite because it's not as intense. It's kind of like a light version. See how they did it, kind of like a light beer. It's roguelite, but it is a roguelike using poker. So it's not maybe like a Hades roguelike, but it's still in that kind of like house of gameplay.
Okay. All right. Do you want to help me out? Oh wait, it's actually time for break. And it's time for a brief intermission in the live stream. This is usually when I make sure I have a little snacky snack, because I usually forget to eat until like 3 p.m. otherwise. And I change the battery, and then we meet back up in like 5 minutes. So I'm gonna give you guys some ideas that you guys can vote on. Okay, here's some different ones. This one's gonna probably take up the whole rest of our time. We could do Book Talk Jail. I will give no further explanation, but just a long series of the worst of book talk, basically. We could do some affair schadenfreude, if anybody wants some of that. I love cheaters getting sweet justice.
I feel like that's poetic justice.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite things to cover on this channel. We did this one, or that's what I was telling you about. I don't know.
Dude, no. I'll get so angry I can't go into work even mildly hearing that one.
Man, and these are all random ones at this point. Let's see if there's any other one. You know what? I'm gonna have you guys choose between those two. I like those two topics. Is Affair Schadenfreude, which is, someone corrected me in my pronunciation of it, or Book Talk Jail. You guys vote on that. We are going to take a brief BRB screen, but we will be back in just a moment. Okay, thank you for allowing me that brief intermission. I had a delightful snacky snack. I feel so much better. What did we vote on? Let me see. At least everybody who wasn't caught up had a chance to catch up. That's always fun. Let's see. What did we vote on? I still can't see anything. You guys got too caught up loving each other. Gross. TikTok books about affairs? No, we don't get to just merge them. Cheaters, always cheaters. We probably can do both, actually. But what are we going to start with? Book talk or the cheater stuff? Let's see. Book talk, 2 for affair, 3 for affair. Oh, everyone's like, book talk, please. Affair stuff. Oh my god, it's literally so half and half. Do you want to be the
book talk?
Do you want? Okay, let's start with book talk. Okay. I gotta quickly pause it so we can get this all queued up. One of you guys sent this to me, and it sent me down an absolute spiral, which apparently is pretty common for the world of book talk. Which, if you aren't familiar with book talk, maybe you can help me describe a book talk, but I feel like I'll do an okay job. Book talk is essentially an area of TikTok where people who are really, really into literature go to talk about books. And while you might think that
That's what it's supposed to be.
while you might think that this is like an innocent, like crafty, creative, maybe even normal space, it's smut.
It's just horny.
It's like just chronically horny juice.
It's horny, but with words.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like book talk and kink top. It's the same thing.
It is.
It's the same place, actually.
It's true outside of TikTok as well, as it would turn out.
So I've heard some stories. I've ended up on certain areas of book talk where I'm like, oh, okay, this is a book talk video.
Yeah, it's just BookTube in shorter format, and I promise you, almost every BookTuber that you watch has a TikTok account.
Maybe. So here is someone who made a little joke, a little skit about it. Oh, sorry, audio off. I fail. Can I like reset the? Where is the? Can I rewind it? Annoying.
Oh no.
I had to choose to be alone with a man or a bear, I would choose the bear every single time.
Hi, I'm a convicted felon.
Hi.
Guilty of murder against 2 women.
Less competition, love it.
I have tattoos.
I'm single.
And I'm 6'2".
Wow, look at that bulge.
I have raging anger issues.
Daddy. I'm going to take out your eyeball and then proceed to have coitus with your socket. This is an actual thing from book talk that is popular amongst women, and I am concerned. I can fix him. If I had to choose being vulnerable...
Dude, so I saw this and I was like, wow, this is really funny because this is like how a lot of girls are. Like, the women are such a mystery because obviously, like, the most of us are like, yeah, we want to be safe and protected and have our lives valued and honored. And then there's others who are like, Wade Wilson, hello, oh my god, what a hottie, Ted Bundy. And
yeah,
like,
it's interesting because it makes sense to me in like a relationship with someone that you can trust, and it's like when to walk that line and when not to walk that line. But it's like the people who are actively like literally dangerous, it's strange to me. But anyway, yeah. What's the rest of the video say?
Well, that's the whole video, but it sent me down a spiral because when he completely broke character and like looked at the camera and was like, that's actually real, I was like, no, it can't be.
Oh, there's
no way. And then, so I did some research. This says, if I had a nickel for every time a spicy book involved eye sockets, then I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice, right? And then it cites 2 different books. One is 8 Days for Salvation, he removes her eye socket and F's the socket. In Dead Inside, she cuts out her dead baby, eats it, dies. He F's her eye socket and covers himself in her insides.
Yes.
That's what... I take back everything I said previously about, like, guys, you should go to Book Talk if you want to learn more about stuff women are interested in.
It's not all of Book Talk is
repeal.
this bad. I will say, not all of Book Talk is this bad. The Book Talk that the side of Book Talk that I am on is people just review bombing bad books, like finding like whatever the hottest new fantasy book is. If people are like either this is good or please don't read this is dog shit, you know, that's what mine is. But I've heard people on my TikTok Book Talk talk about this side of it, and I'm like, I don't even know what like character interaction chain of events have to go down for my algorithm to be like, yes, the skull fucking Book Talk videos. That's what this D&D creator would like to read. I mean, I'm sure there's actually a lot of Venn diagram overlay for that. But this particular D&D creator, I don't need to hear about that.
Yeah, so this all led me to finding out that there's one person who has an account. You guys might remember, there's a few different versions of, like, the list and different lists that people are running. Like, one guy has a whole, like, list of things men can't do. And every time a woman, like, makes a video that's like, men, you can't use straws with your coffee.
Yeah.
And then he'll just stitch the video by scrolling down his ever-growing list of things men can't do and adds it. And it's just like, can't use straws with coffee. So this person has one running called Book Jail.
I like it.
And as she goes, she just, like, finds stuff. So this one is... When you wake up to find you have a tampon in, hold on, I don't remember wearing a tampon before I went to bed last night.
Okay.
You didn't. What do you mean? You open and shut your mouth. He nods. Let's try to pause through some of these. Here are some examples of Book Talk. Okay. F's her with her own tampon.
Okay.
We saw that one. Here's some more, though. They exchange vows using grilled pieces of their skin.
Mm-hmm.
Has a threesome, slits her throat, fingers the opening until, then they eat her.
How does that work?
Breeding with Bigfoot. BF cheats with Bigfoot. She then gets impregnated by Bigfoot. Drinks his special milk to survive. To be fair, probably highly nutritious. Out there in the wild, that's probably the best you can get. It's probably like the breast milk of mythical species juice. Oh my god. This is how it starts, though. You start to normalize Bigfoot juice, and then it's all downhill from there. Kissing the coronavirus. She gets turned on by the COVID sample, which turns into a giant green man, so she F's him. War unfinished. He forces her to have an abortion that, oh god, I don't even want to know how that one goes. What are some others while it's scrolling?
You're gonna get demonetized hard for this. You already have, like...
Up to the Patreon and YouTube membership so I can stay afloat. Oh my god.
This is... Yep, someone just used the no bottle. Yep, exactly. No, this is that's super no bottle.
Yeah, you were gonna grab... I forgot, we do have two. No, don't actually spray it.
I'm not gonna.
We use it as a prop around here. Yeah, so you guys get it. This has changed my view of Book Talk, quite frankly.
Swamp Tales. Oh, man.
Pinocchio's dick grows when he lies. Yeah, that's enough. I had no idea. Everyone's like, it's so good to read. I love getting lost in a good book.
Yes,
I'm like,
there's
what are you
books.
doing in there? I'm gonna start book shaming now. Everyone out there who's reading, I'm gonna be like, you're disgusting. Go behind some closed doors with that depraved nonsense. Yeah, that one sent me. That
Anyway, I gotta go to work.
yeah, we for everyone who was audio only and not looking, congrats. You really nailed that one.
You actually dodged a few bullets that you don't have to see some visual descriptions we didn't read out.
I'm a cruel host sometimes because sometimes I follow the rule of if I had to see it, now you do too. So just so you know, that's gonna happen sometimes. Dylan says, "No, I'm reading a good book, I swear." To the barracks, Dylan. We'll decide at trial if you deserve to keep your precious literature. Ugh, disgusting. All right, marriage schadenfreude. Ah, it's so delicious. All right. So this one, like I said, this is taken from r/adultery hate, one of my favorite subreddits. They. Oh, are you? Do you have more stuff you got to get ready for?
Well,
Or are you just more stuff you want to do?
I got work at 2.
I know. It doesn't take too long to get there. Oh, you don't have to stick around if you want to go do other stuff. That's fine. I mean, it's fine if you want to break my heart. No, I'm just kidding. I actually don't care either way. This one's pretty great though. Yeah, this is r/adultery hate. They take real posts from pro-affair subreddits and then just ruthlessly make fun of them and put them on display for us all to laugh at. It's great. So this one reads, hold on, this isn't cut off, is it? Let me make sure. There we go, it is cut off. Shrinky dink it down a little bit. I know this is going to be hard to read, so I'll read it to you guys, don't worry. This says, my AP, which in pro-affair subreddit stands for affair partner. My affair partner cheated on me. This is such a mess, but I really need advice. They say, I'm in desperate need of advice. I've been crying for a week and I'm completely lost on what to do. What breaks me is that he's the one who pushed for this to be serious with me. His actions with me tell me one story, but then his online life tells a different one. As if, like, the fact that they're literally living a double life with you behind their spouse's back is not already telling two different stories. But, like, the delusion of these people will never cease to impress me. He said he loved me, said he wanted a future, said I was the only one.
Yes.
You're the only affair partner.
Yeah, you're my only affair partner.
Do people not even just realize how on the nose that is? That's so crazy. But clearly, he never stopped searching for something else, something local. When I confronted him, he didn't deny it. He says he's addicted to the feeling he gets when someone responds, says it gives him validation, that it was never about actually cheating or acting on anything. He tells his wife the same thing, you know that, right? Then adds not focused on sex. He said, when you just talk about sex in a post, you don't get responses. Right. So he's trying to argue that, like, you can tell he's not looking for sex because he wasn't posting directly about sex. He just wanted attention, which is why he posted romantically. First of all, he's lying. He posted romantically so that he could eventually get to sex. He knows that posting about sex doesn't get responses because he's tried it. What? His reasoning has changed a few times. Another reason is, sometimes I want you so badly and I can't have you, so I start looking for sex in person.
That sounds like an addiction.
So we're breaking some more truth bombs out of this slowly. We're starting to slowly recognize, like, okay, so he was looking for sex. Another, I'm just curious what's in my city, but I wasn't going to act on anything. Guys, I don't know who needs to hear this, but there are always going to be there are always people you can bang in your city. Like, hold on, I'm stealing the face back. I'm gonna try. Yeah, dude, like, there's always people out there who want to have sex. Like, you don't need to do all this to prove that. Another, if you found someone in your city, isn't that ideal? I told him no. When I meet someone who I think is my person, distance doesn't matter to me. And clearly whether or not they have a spouse also does not matter to you. Tomb for Zombie says, that's why I read stuff on my phone. She says he has been apologetic for a week. He keeps saying that I'm incredibly important to him. I'm his best friend, and he hates himself for hurting me. Yeah, he's used to saying this to multiple people. He said he wants to leave his marriage and be with me. He said it's hard to not have me where he lives, and he needs that physical connection. Now he's saying he's committed to changing, that he'll never post again, that I'm the one he wants, and he wants to work through this. He doesn't want to lose me. I told him for now I can try and be his friend, but nothing more. Basically, I feel like a backup plan. I wonder why that is. I wonder why someone who knows that they're a side piece in someone else's marriage feels like a backup option. Isn't that so strange? So bizarre. Why would she feel that way? Oh, man. The comments are funny. Wow, you're telling me a cheater cheats? Who could have known? No, they don't get cheated on because they're special. Didn't you know? I love this one. He can't cheat on you, silly. You don't have a real relationship. And I love that for them. I'm still astonished that they think they have an exclusive relationship with a cheater. My wife was so surprised that her affair partner was cheating on her. She looked like I killed a puppy when I told her. Oh my God. The amazing prize of a married man is cheating on both his wife and his side piece. Can you get cheated on in an imaginary relationship? How sad to be a grown adult posting this. That's like crazy to me to be like, I can't believe that my married boyfriend is cheating on me.
Yeah, that's... I'm...
Like, isn't that how it started? Isn't that the whole thing, though? Man, I stunted TJ into silence with that one.
I'm sorry.
He's just like, I gotta...
It's...
I know.
I mean, you're already demonetized at this point, but it's like...
Well, now what are you gonna say? We don't know that I'm demonetized. I haven't gotten the email yet.
I mean, the book talk section alone.
You'd be surprised.
I guess you're right. So I guess sometimes I'm at a loss for words. Yes, exactly.
Bro is at a loss for words.
I'm at a loss
for words. Narrator voice, bro was in fact at a loss for words.
But when people say something so stupid, so just intellectually stupid, like idiotic, to the point where I don't even like to use that word very often. Like it's so dumb. It's so dumb that I can't rationalize it, and so my brain just sits there in like a black void trying to figure out like it's like oh my god I've only, it's mostly stories that you bring me, but it's like to be told something where it's just like it's. And I'm way more forgiving because I work in a medical building to where some people will ask questions that they don't know are really dumb. So I'm like, that's only dumb because I know the information. When I started working here, I had no fucking clue either. I would ask that too. So it's like, and I'll like take a breath and remind myself. But this is like, bro, you're in it. Like you're literally doing the thing. You're doing the thing. It's, oh my god, it's like you're playing hockey. It's like you're playing hockey and you're afraid that after you got put in the penalty box for a fight, someone else tried to fight you, and they're like, well, no.
Victoria says TJ's brain has experienced the blue screen of death then.
It's not even the blue screen of death. It's like the old box TVs where it gets like the white noise channels of just like That's all it is just like the snow.
Michael McIntyre giving me the demonetization offset. I don't think I'm actually demonetized. But
No,
we will
I'm
see.
sure. I'm just, I'm.
Time will tell.
Oh my God, that.
So tasty though, so delicious.
That's all. I just know that the algorithm doesn't like when people talk about people's intelligence, but that's fucking dumb. That's stupid.
They don't think that way though. They really think like, this guy is cheating on his own wife, but it couldn't possibly happen to me.
That's the thing, is it's like, it just shows absolute lack of intellectual consistency, self-awareness, social literacy. Like, man.
This is what I'm queuing up next, but I know you won't have time for it.
I mean, I'm
you guys
kinda,
ready for the next one?
I'm gonna see how this, yeah, I'm
You're gonna see how far you can get into this.
Sorry.
Dang it. They immediately stole TJ's face back. That's so funny. They're like, no, we're gonna stick with the handsome one. Okay, let's jump into the next one. I have a fun next one for you.
This, I feel a certain way already, but we'll see how the story goes.
All right. This one was posted to Am I the A-hole? And it reads, am I the a-hole for not getting my girlfriend food after she told me not to? Every guy right now is just the meme of Arthur's fist, just... We've all been here, boys.
I learned at a very early age, and maybe it's because of having an Italian mother. Listen, it's like, you ask, are you hungry? Or what do you want to eat? And it's like, well, I'm not hungry. And it's like, that's not what I asked you. You know, it's like, it's one of those, you'll be like, oh, kids, don't get me a slush. I don't need a slush. And I'm like, I'll literally be in line with the kids. I'm like, your mom's going to drink some of my slush. That's why I got the extra big size. And they're like, oh. I'm like, mm-hmm. And then, sure thing, it's just her slush. So is what it turns out. It's, I mean, I remember even in high school, I had a significant other who said they didn't want anything, and I'm like, I'll bet if I order fries, they're gonna eat the fries. And they ended up eating the fries, and it was like, I'm gonna bet this is not the only time this will happen in my life. And sure enough, be it a romantic partner or a...
It just like gets confused.
A romantic partner or friends, it's like, you never, when someone's hungry, you should always order food. Like,
yeah, it's just rude to eat in front of people in general.
Dude, like, get a shareable. Like, and then when it gets, like, feel free to go in on this, because the minute someone starts talking...
But there's a difference, too, if someone's like, no, don't. Like, I'm full, you'll waste it. You know, like, there's so much different context,
for sure,
you know?
For sure, that's fair. We'll see how this goes.
Eric Pfeiffer, thank you for the super chat, says, poor TJ turned into an old Nintendo needing to be smacked a couple times to turn back on correctly. No, you just gotta blow on it.
Damn it, you beat me to it! I was gonna say, just gotta blow me. That's...
Nice. Anyway, no, the face! Not the face! Oh my god. I'm getting trolled. Okay, let's keep reading. Oh, it's so funny. Hi all. A 26-year-old male girlfriend, a 23-year-old female, and I have been together for about a year and a half. It's been mostly good, but it does seem like at times she has very odd expectations. This morning, I was going out for breakfast and texted her to ask if she wanted me to get her breakfast, and she said no. I asked her if she was sure, and she assured me that she didn't want anything. Come a few hours later, she calls me and says, you know, it really didn't sit right with me that you didn't get me food this morning. If you were more thoughtful, you would have showed up to my door and surprised me with breakfast. I know, because he hit you with the are you sure, though.
Yeah, man, he double tapped. He checked.
Like, okay, after the are you sure and you still say no, it's okay for him to, like... That's the thing is he didn't even come home and eat it around her. He just was at breakfast and happened to let her know he was there. And, like, it would have made sense if later on she was like, man... Right after I told you no for that second time, like an hour later, I got so hungry and I regretted not telling you yes. Like, that's normal to say. But to actually like crash out on him and like get mad and
Yeah,
accuse
man.
him of doing something wrong is like,
And that's
what?
why, like, I know they got to put the hook bait title in there to be like, well, of course you're in the wrong for doing that, good sir. But then it's like, oh, well, you did everything right. You know, if you actually did the thing where you checked, then you double checked, and then you were like, okay. And I'm sure it sounds like he was probably one of those people who like waited till the very last minute to be like, I'm gonna wait to see if she, you know, he could have done a triple tap. There's nothing wrong with that, but she might have been like, God, leave me alone. And then, but then it's like, are you gonna be upset later? You know, so we can't do a what if, but he literally double checked.
Yeah, she had her chance and she blew it. You had your chance and you blew it. Mind you, we live about 10 minutes from one another, so I had zero problem bringing her food, but I asked her twice if she wanted it, and she said no. Do I just not understand women? She's legitimately so pissed and thinks if I liked her more, I would have brought her food anyways.
Honestly, this is the thing. He should start always bringing her food.
But that's crazy. That's a crazy expectation.
No.
Oh, you're saying like spite
kind of obnoxiously, like, oh, hey, well, I was going to see you, so I brought you this. Oh, hey, I was going to see you, well, I brought you this. Leave the food outside her door. Be like, man, I'm so sad this went to waste, but I just wanted to make sure I surprised you.
I saw a dog on my walk today, and I got to pet it, and you weren't there, so I bought you a dog.
Dude, but yes, I'm just saying, like, eventually get to that point and go, do you see how this expectation is going to get out of hand real quick, honey? Like, I'm doing this in good fun now, but know that, like, we got to communicate better. Like, it's got to be, and again, he might not be as goofy as I am, so maybe he can't be that goofy with it, but it's like, I made you a sandwich. Oh, I stopped by work because I thought you might be hungry. Like, dude, I will be such a silly fucking goose about this.
That would get taken the wrong way by this girl, though, because then she would be like, oh, I love this. But then it would become the new expectation. And then as soon as you stop doing it, wow, okay, so my camera has just chosen violence.
Your camera wants Audrey, too. It knows who the star is.
That's true. That's valid. She is our queen, quite frankly. Yeah, no, I mean, 10 minutes away is still, like, quite a far way to be, like, constantly bringing someone food. Like, obviously, if you're, like, already there and you're already offering, then, like, yeah, of course you genuinely would want to. But, like, that's a little much to be like, yeah, he should just do it all the time now. Like, what? That's a terrible idea. Like, even if you bring spite meals, she still wins. I would accept spite meals from probably anybody. I love food.
That's hilarious. The camera's judging you for that one, man.
The spite meals.
It's
indiscriminate
like,
spite food. Oh yeah, feed me, dude. I am Audrey. All right. Where does he finish up? TLDR, offered to buy my girlfriend breakfast after she told me she didn't want anything multiple times. I ended up not doing so. Later, she expressed to me I was wrong for not getting her anything anyways.
Yeah, he's totally, I'm sorry. He double checked. If he only asked once, I'd be like, you should have asked just in case. Because I'm one of those people where I'm like, no, don't worry about it. And then someone, you'll text, or my parents, if they're in town and they're like, we're picking up dinner, do you want anything? I'll be like, no. They're like, are you sure? Here's the menu. I'd be like, damn it, you.
This is funny. Someone said there's a menu that went viral for a side dish called My Girlfriend's Not Hungry.
I saw that. I remember that. And it was just like little additions to everything.
That's so
good. A little
good.
Extra on the side.
Let's see what some of the top comments were for this before we get to the follow-up. Not the a-hole. This is a mind game, and it's not fair at all to you. When someone clearly communicates that they don't want something, it is completely unreasonable for them to expect you to somehow know that they were lying and really didn't want the thing. For the record, I am a woman, and I think only idiots play idiot games like this. OP says, I completely understand a woman saying, I don't want to have to spell everything out for you, but stuff like this is way over the line in my eyes.
Yeah.
Another user says, NTA, your girlfriend needs to say what she means and mean what she says. If you ask her if she wants food and she declines and says no, it's safe to assume that she does not want food. She has a strange vision of what a fantasy relationship is. A surprise breakfast taco is in no way a romantic gesture.
Oh, whoa.
I disagree there as well.
If she showed up to my work with a surprise breakfast taco, no euphemism implied.
Oh, I would get it.
Oh, she would.
I wouldn't have to do nothing else for the rest of the day, y'all.
No, dude. surprise Mexican at work is like
We had so much
Popeye
Mexican
spinach.
lately. We've had such good Mexican lately. Anyway, OP replies, the amount of clearly staged relationship TikToks she sends me is alarming. Oh no! This is a thing.
Where's the update? I want to hear the update.
Okay. Let's jump right into it.
Okay, sorry.
Girlfriend loses her mind because I didn't get her food that she specifically told me not to get.
See, that's you buried the lead on the last one. That's what the thing needed
That's
to
what
be.
I should have said. My then girlfriend was freaking out because I didn't get her food when she specifically told me
well,
not
sorry,
to.
there's been a change to
Update.
status.
Good
Yeah,
job,
my
Kim.
then girlfriend. Now you have an what is it? Adjective?
We love to see it. She was drunk and has gone on tirades before, so it was expected. When I said that hurt way more than I thought it would, I wasn't totally serious. I just wanted her to stop, so we'll get to that. She completely denied it the next day and unsent the messages. So luckily I saved the screenshots so she couldn't run from it. Holy cow, what are we about to get into? Why would you be such a mean boyfriend to me? Like, you're soaked up. We could have it all. We could have it all. We could have it all, babe. We could have it all. Rolling
the deep like hell.
That's what I said. But we could have it all, but you were a pussy little bitch. Little boy. Go boys.
Clearly, we're dealing with an intellectual titan here.
Okay, this is a little bit on him. There had to have been more red flags before this. If she exhibited this behavior before, I love that he's streaming YouTube too. Hold on, I
That's
gotta
so
scroll up a little
fucking
bit so
funny,
you can
dude.
see this. He's streaming YouTube in the bottom of this while she's going off on him. Cause you're gay, the way you be acting.
See, now I just think she's...
That's crazy. Does she know how many gay people bring their girlfriends breakfast? A lot. That's
I would love to be an online personality, but yeah, I need more subscribers. I don't post enough. We'll see if that changes. Now
you
that
just got monetized on TikTok.
I just literally this
TJ,
morning. You're
hold
right.
on, I'm stealing my face back
Steal it
in this
back.
tiny bubble. But yeah, TJ literally just got into the creator marketplace. So yay, TJ. We'll have to make you a TikTok cake.
Oh, that's true. All right, I have to go down though.
Wait, you have time,
Oh,
real
God.
quick. This is the last little bit. She said, and you made my life bad. Oh yeah, she also put, wish I never met you. And to that he replies, wow, that hurts way more than I thought it would. She said, wish I never swiped right. You should go date a loser like yourself. Like, and then she literally name drops someone else she hates. You deserve someone who's fat like you.
I'll bet that they're not even fat. I'll bet that they're like healthily curvy, and they're
Dude.
like, oh my God, look at this cow.
Ooh.
This is a crash out.
That was like the crash out to end all crash
This
outs, dude.
this is like almost what we need to show our son, to be like, bro, I know that you just started asking girls out. If this happens, don't try to salvage it. Don't try to nothing.
Yeah, you're good. You're better off. No,
This is an
Thank
extreme
her.
version, but if you start to see like a facet that can trajectory into this kind of behavior, it's a big ocean, my guy. It's a big ocean. We know a lot of people. You'll meet a lot of folks.
Oh my gosh, she needed that breakfast taco, dude.
Damn. Never needed a eggs Benedict so hard.
She needed an egg with her egg. That's exactly what she needed. Okay.
I love you.
Have a good day at work. I love you.
The early show deep lipstick is not there, so I don't need to walk.
Yeah. You're safe now. Oh man, that's so funny. That was a crazy one. That was a crazy one, and just another sign that, dude, there is a lot to be said about the fact that TikTok almost teaches women to send mixed signals. I enjoy TikTok in many ways. It's a nice little side income, but damn, has it contributed to so much degeneracy in our world, man. All right. We're probably going to start wrapping up here pretty soon as well. Which one was this one? Let me see. Okay, this was a video I think somebody sent me, and I don't even think I watched it. But I'll live react to it with you guys. This is a video someone posted to r/public freakout that reads, imagine being in labor and the asshole that impregnated you acts like this. Text on screen reads, my first pregnancy and labor was stolen off me. That's why I act the way I do. I never experienced the beautiful experience. Oh boy, what are we about to watch?
Alright, so listen, bro. I know you're in pain, dude, but, bro, there are so many people that are going to labor and
yeah, it works.
But no, dude, like, bro, I seen videos with people, like, having child in cars and shit, bro, and they don't even be acting on it. Like, it's perfectly fine with them. Like, come on, bro. See if it's not together, at least a little bit, bro. I know that shit hurt, but come on, dude.
Oh my god! What? So this woman is in labor, dude. And let me tell you guys, I will say I've been through some crazy pain in my life and have experienced some crazy injuries, but labor was definitely at least a 9 out of 10 for me. I was like, give me the drugs ASAP. I was in so much pain. And also, like, the position that she's in, too, like, it all keeled over on the floor. That was actually one position that they, like, had me be in for a while to try to, like, kind of flip the baby because they could tell that she was, like, not coming out the way she was supposed to. So that's, like, just a different angle that you can use to try to, like, you know, sunny side up your baby a little bit while you're trying to get him out of the egg, you know what I mean? And, like, so nothing that she's doing is literally crazy at all. She is in very normal pain for a very normally painful situation. And we got this dude in a wife beater and a bucket hat repeatedly calling the mother of his children bro, talking about, bro, come on, you don't need to be, you're exaggerating, you're doing too much, bro. Like, there's people in labor all the time who don't be doing all this. Come on, bro. Like, I know you're in pain, but, like, come on, we got to get it together. Then, man, at the end there, I really thought, like, right around here, he was right here. I thought he was coming over to, like, help comfort her or, like, rub her back or even, like, assist her in getting up. But no, you want to know what he does, dude? He grabs his phone and starts going on his phone. Oh my god, dude. Like, and I don't know who filmed this, but, like, imagine being in that situation and you're, like, watching this happen and you're just like, I just know this needs to be memorialized. Like, what? Like, at least thank God someone else was there, because you know what? This is definitely a villain arc story, man. I gotta say, as much of the Dadvocate as I am, if you walked into a family court hearing and you were like, who should be the primary parent, and you showed this video, I think any judge would have a hard time not being like, and I don't know much about the mom, but this video tells me everything about the dad. Oh my god. Not to mention, like, I hate the style of, like, hanging the pants off the ass. Why? If that's your style, please stop. I'm sorry. I, like, very rarely ever, like, shame styles or fashion. I'm very pro, you know, individual appearance and style, but, like, this is definitely the outfit you wear when you are going to be 200% unhelpful during a very difficult labor and delivery. That is that, like, why is he showing up to the labor and delivery looking like Bill from King of the Hill? But I shouldn't slander Bill like that, because he would never. If Peggy ever gave him a shot, he would never. Oh my god, dude. A whole ass Grand Theft Auto character has showed up to the chat. That one was wild. Well, now I remember why I added that to this. Oh no. All right, I reacted to that one. I reacted to this one. Let's do a couple wholesome things before I wrap up the stream, okay? Let's just react to something purely wholesome. If you guys are being audio only right now, might I recommend not for just a brief moment? Okay, this reads, daughter freaks out with excitement as her dad gets off his shift from work.
You're so cute. I can see him.
Oh man, that's the kind of stuff you just watch on repeat, dude. Just immediate endorphin rush, like all of the good oxytocin from that one, man. Oh, I just posted one of my daughter just like laughing hysterically the other day, and I was like, I could listen to this on repeat. Jojo, thank you for the super chat. What are you saying? Dude, this style died in early 2000s. No need to resurrect it. A little late off the end, but you know. Yeah, truly. There are still people who will forever dress that way, though. And they're all like that. You know what I mean? Oh, man. Yeah, dude. That one's such a good one. I might just keep that on the list here. Just keep it forever on the itinerary. Just in case. Just in case. What was this one? Oh, this one's oddly satisfying. Let's watch some oddly satisfying stuff. This says, geared up for a fight with a bat, but knocked out at the junction. This one was posted to r/dashcam gifs, or gifs. Wow, what came over me? Please no one ever clip that or remind me that happened in my life. Oh no. Viennery says, this makes me want to rewind the clock back when my 7-year-old was that age. Every girl is a man's princess. I know, it happens too fast, dude. That's why I'm already thinking about having another one. I'm also thinking about not having another one. I'm like, life is good now. They're school age. Don't fuck this up. I know. I don't know what came over me, man. The demon jumped out for a second. Anyway. Yeah, I've been watching this one lately. It's been pretty satisfying. That was not the same guy as Bat Guy. And keep in mind, the car recording is just another person who's stuck behind these assholes. Like, imagine just sitting there in your car while all of this is going down and you're just kind of like, but damn, dude. Later. Damn. Damn. It kept completely still, but truly 2-on-1, dude. This was almost like comical though. It's like in the video games where they like give you time to defeat an enemy before the next one like busts out of the door to come fight you next. Like, that guy really waited in the car until he could not any longer. Just made 2 dudes take a nap, got in his car and was like, adios. Wow, I love the comment, pure cinema. Truly. All right, sleep tight, sweet prince. Smell you later. Oh man, like even if that guy was originally in the wrong, maybe he like rear-ended the car in front of him, right? Like what if he was completely in the wrong? Like they were parked and this guy just like slams into their vehicle. One of the guys gets whiplash. Like you would be in the wrong for that, right? You still lose that title as soon as someone else comes out of the car with a bat and starts swinging a bat at your car and then swings the bat at you. Then you're no longer in the wrong. Then you are in the right at that point. Then you're the hero. You won that one, man. I don't even care if he rear-ended him at that point. That's the insult they needed on top of the injury, quite frankly. Holy cow. Oh, love that one. I said we were going to wrap it up, but actually these are pretty short, so I have some fun ones. What's this one? Man, we're gonna do some blind reacting today because a lot of this stuff was stuff I just put on my list and was like, watch this with everyone later, and I don't even know what it's gonna be. I should probably be monitoring these things ahead of time, but you know what? Let's just see what this one was. This says, I remember when people used to keep things to themselves.
I'm drunk, but I'm gonna do my best to tell a story. I like my punani bald, okay? It's a personal preference. I feel like it looks better. I feel better. Whatever. I notice, though, when I shave, I give in too easily. Like, damn, who want me, right? I also notice that even when I don't shave, I still give in because I have no self-control, except to do things I walk around with a bush. Right? So the guy I liked at the time texts me and he's like, hey, you want to come over? I'm like, I'm not doing anything. I'll text you when I'm on the way. So I hop in the shower. Why are you hopping in the shower, bitch? We already not off to a good start. I'm in the shower, I look down, I'm like, well, I can't shave because then I'm definitely giving in, but I can't not shave because I'll probably still give in, but he'll think I'll have a bush, right? So I shave half of it. Right down the middle. Grassland on one side, bald on the other. Okay. Dumbass. I'm like, my draws are staying on tonight. He ain't looking at this. So we're watching a movie. And we're watching a movie. I'm like, ah, shit. Ah, shit. You not a changed woman, you a dumb one. He looks down, mortified as hell, I might add. He goes, what's this? I ain't never seen anything like this before. What's going on? I get real defensive because I'm embarrassed. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm trying something new. Looks good. Other women do it too.
Man, I did not know where that one was gonna go. When she first started and she was like, I like my kitty bald, I'm like, okay, pop off, queen. You know, like, you're allowed your personal preferences. Like, some people like it, some people don't. Where is this one gonna go? And then she was like, well, the thing is, I'm nervous though, because when I shave it, I tend to give in too easily. I'm like, oh, okay, then like, don't shave it. And then she's like, but if I don't shave it, I'll still give in too easily. And then I'm like, it sounds like you want to have sex. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't think that you're trying to draw some correlations here. You're trying to like fight with the demons in your head of like what could possibly prevent you from sleeping with a bunch of people that's not you. And so you're trying to blame your own coochie on what your brain is responsible for. It's but I like her approach to it because I like the way that she's trying to stay intellectually consistent. She thinks to herself, well, because that was the weird part of her logic too, was in her mind she's thinking, well, if I shave it, it's gonna look so good that I have to show it off. But if I don't shave it, then I have to like, she said something like I have to prove that I don't have a bush or something. But if you do have a bush, then you would, I don't know. She had some kind of weird logic behind it. So she's thinking in her head like, well, one thing that might prevent me from throwing it around is if I put like a racing stripe on it. I just like leave a little line and then kind of off to the sides. You know what I mean? As if that would really stop a guy. I'm curious, like, please answer in the chat if a solid racing stripe would stop you dead in your tracks and make you go, nah, I ain't gonna see it through, my boy. Like, how many of you would? What, Psychodivergent, are you saying you wouldn't tolerate the racing stripe? It's too much for you? Like, if you were already going to sleep with a girl, nah, she went half and half. Oh, you mean like, oh, wow, it wasn't even stylized. It was literally like half and half. That's so much funnier. That's so much worse. The Two-Face of Coochie, dude. That's so funny. Oh no! That, you know, that's a story that man told every single one of his friends and will forever tell until the dawn of time. Getting down on that Two-Face kitty. Ain't no way. More of a yin-yang design. See, that might actually, like, kick ass, though. If she actually did make it kind of like a whoop, whoop. Like, you know, I might be like, this is a work of art. You know what I mean? I love that you guys are like, the stripe wouldn't bother me. The talking would. Yeah, I did not realize that until right now. Oh, wow, that's so much worse, dude. Oh my gosh. This was posted to r/cringe TikToks. Michael McIntyre says, Sphinx or not, it wouldn't matter. Is that another word for a certain nether hair design? Is the Sphinx? And if so, why? Is it because that's like what the pharaohs would have? That's so funny. I gotta read some of these comments, man. Before the invention of the internet, only your friends and family knew how dumb you can actually be. Now everyone can know. What accent is that? I too was trying to figure that one out, man. This is only half funny. That one was good. That was really great. Yeah, place the Nuva ring permanently in there, dude. This girl needs more than just a Nuva ring. She needs a full-on Nuva brass knuckle, dude. Like, all 5 fingers just... Not today, babies. That's what she needs, dog. Just one Nuva ring ain't gonna cut it. We need the birth control of the gods. We need the birth control that will Thanos snap a fetus right out of there, dude. That's how creativity is born. By the desperate need to try to stop fucking every sausage you see. Oh, Michael McIntyre said Sphinx is a hairless kitty breed. Okay, now I know what you're talking about. I love Sphinx cats, actually. They're so cute. She sounded like South had inbred cousin with the Midwest. Well, that's how you can tell she gets around, huh? But, damn. That's funny. I literally just had that under watch later and nailed it. We succeeded in that endeavor. Oh, man. What is this one? Okay, I had this one saved under completely irrelevant but enjoy. Past tense Lauren really hooked us up with this one. If you're audio only, you really gotta get in here. There's some puppies wrestling with an anteater. It's not bad though, it's really cute. How do we even get in this situation? There's another dog involved too, but it's just chilling, as if like puppies and anteaters fight all the time. That dog's like, another day, just another Monday. This is posted to r/friends. The anteater is being so cute and gentle, too. Who knew? What an unlikely duo. This goes on for a really long time, but I just think we needed that in our lives a little bit. Oh, boy. All right, let's end it on this one. Let's end it on one last controversial post. This was posted to r/relationship advice, and our OP writes, my girlfriend wants to explore her bisexuality. We're dealing with a 35-year-old man and a 25-year-old female. I've heard of these types of situations before. Before we even get too into it, man, there is like this weird idea that a lot of women have that if you're a girl and you do sexual, provocative, romantic things with another girl while in a relationship with a man, it's not cheating. It's not cheating because it's another girl. There is like a weird subsection, and there's even a group of men who think that way. Like there are plenty of men who are like, yeah, my girlfriend can do anything she wants with other girls. And I'm like, okay, a bit dangerous of a game that you're playing there, but all right, let's see how it plays out for you. You know what I mean? Like, but this is the problem, is if your girlfriend is actually bisexual, chances are, like, typically when people call themselves bisexual, they don't just mean the sex part and there's no romantic feelings whatsoever. Like, there's not a difference typically in modern language between bisexuality and like biromanticism. You know what I mean? Like, what that typically means is if they sleep with someone enough, they have a solid chance of falling in love with them, right? Like, that not only would they hook up with someone, but that they could legitimately develop strong emotional connections to and feelings for the other person. But even if they don't, I mean, you're still letting your partner bone someone else. You know that, right? When you do that. So, like, let's see what he has to say. I've just hung up the phone with my girlfriend. We have a long distance relationship, and she always mentions on how she wanted to explore her sexuality and experiment with a female. First of all, we're not here for you to experiment with. Like, unless you're literally, like, communicating well with this other woman and you're like, hey, I just want to do a little bit of stuff, like, no strings attached. But, like, I hope that you are communicating that, because otherwise you're just playing with people to find out what stuff you like sexually, which is a little bit weird. For the previous conversations we had in the past years, we had agreed that our relationship comes first, and I wouldn't want to feel like I'm being replaced. I asked for clear communication to know what happens with the other girl, how she felt, etc., to have proper dates, romantic and online sexual. I also asked that I would prefer that it wouldn't be someone who would stay over frequently and develop into a romantic relationship, and if it looks like it's reaching that point, then I'd like her to stop it and focus on us. Okay, yeah, you're playing with fire, bro. It's crazy to me how some people can truly think this way. It's the same with people who, like, get conned into open relationships, which is what this is. She's conning you into an open relationship disguised as, like, well, you're homophobic if you don't let me. Like, that's exactly what's happening here. It's the same with people who get conned into trying an open relationship, but they try to set, like, these very unrealistic rules. Like, okay, well, I guess you can sleep with someone, but please don't fall in love with them. Like, that's not the way the human condition works. Like, you're playing with fire, okay? You're truly, like, lighting the match on this by allowing it. Like, just, but by that point, you gotta just be like, let's just be single then. Maybe we can still be friends with benefits, but we're clearly not moving in the way of, like, a consistent monogamous union right now. Viennery, thank you for the super chat, says no paternity conflict, which is why men see it different. Yeah, I guess I get what you're saying there. But if you're actually realistic about the fact that, like, lesbians and bisexual women actually exist, like, the threat of you losing your partner romantically to someone else by allowing them to continue, like, romantically dating someone else is going to increase. You will have greater risk, okay, no matter the genitalia. Dylan says, isn't it homophobic to let you do this? Are lesbian relationships less valid than straight relationships? Dude, exactly. That's what I'm saying, dude. It really, like, it's almost misogyny, if not just misogyny, to be like, oh yeah, we could just use women as toys, but they're not serious like that, though. He goes on to say, she asked a colleague of hers on a date. She also has a boyfriend who's supporting her to explore her body. How many of you are there out there? Oh my god, you guys are gonna create, like, the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives Part 2 Electric Boogaloo, dude. She told me that she won't put any red lines. Oh, okay, so he's like, oh, I'll support you doing this if there's boundaries, and she's like, no boundaries, and he's just like, oh, okay. She wants to experience it fully, with dates, gifts, and see where it goes. She told me that it's wrong of me to ask her to put some boundaries, but she would be okay if the other girl has some. I'm assuming this was like a conversation they had where he's like, okay, so I'm not allowed to set boundaries with this new trajectory this relationship is going. Does that mean you just don't respect boundaries? Does that mean if the girl you're with wants to set boundaries, you won't respect those either? And she straight up said, like, no, I will respect my hypothetical future girlfriend's boundaries, just not yours. My very real boyfriend's. Wow. The disrespect is so off the charts right now, and he's trying so so hard to simp. This is crazy. At the same time, she doesn't think that me having sex with another woman is something that is equal, and she should only have this privilege. I was never actually pursuing this option. Wow, so he even brings up the idea, he's like, okay, well, if you can sleep with other girls, can I explore my sexuality by sleeping with other girls? And she's like, no. It's not the same, but it's not the same! What she told me today is that this will happen in any way, whether I'm okay with it or not. And I should fully support her on her sexual journey, knowing and being okay with the fact that she might fall for another woman. Is this something logical? Bro, you're getting friend-zoned. What? You're getting friend-zoned by your own girlfriend. She literally was like, hey, I want to stay with you, but only as like a backup plan. So can you just remain loyal and retain your fidelity to me and still give me all of the same boyfriend privileges while I in no way respect our union the same way at all? Like, dude, this is crazy. I've heard of the concept of one-way monogamy, which is essentially where one person is monogamous and the other person is not. But that's the kind of agreement that's like, first of all, so rare, so not typically heard of, right? But you would have to establish that pretty freaking early on, I feel like. That's not the kind of thing that you can just like try to force on someone later on, like, hey, I had an idea. This might be fun. Dude, Vianney nailed it. Says, I want to date someone else, but I want you to pay for most things. Yeah. Basically. Top comments read, sounds like you need to break up and let her do her thing. No, that's not what she wants. You misunderstand, top comment. She doesn't want to break up and let her do her own thing. She wants all of the benefits of having a boyfriend and all of the benefits of being single. What don't you understand about this? I love VX says, this girl deserves to be broken up with over text. Why stay together while she dates another person? If for whatever reason you both decide to get together in the future, there will be a lot less baggage. Let her date, and you are also free to date, and see what happens. Another commenter says, bro, she basically said, I'm gonna do whatever I want with whoever I want. You just gotta smile and deal. That's not exploring, that's steamrolling. Yes. You laid out respectful boundaries. She tossed them like receipts she didn't want to look at. And the part where she only gets to explore but you can't? Wild. She wants an open relationship where you stay emotionally monogamous and she gets to fall in love with someone else. That's not a relationship. That's a soft breakup wrapped in rainbow wrapping paper. She's not looking for your support. She's giving you a heads up before she dips. Believe her. This is solid advice, dude. Good job, Reddit. You guys are coming together for bro. And finally, as a woman who realized she was bisexual 7 years into a heterosexual relationship with her now husband, she's using this as an excuse to cheat on you. Leave. Absolutely, dude. Like, it is a really, like, it's a logical fallacy to imply that the only way you'll ever be able to know your sexuality is if you like a bunch of people. Like, you guys probably knew what you were pretty early on, even if you were in denial about it for a long time. You know what I mean? Like, if you're feeling in your head, like, I wouldn't mind going on a date with a person like that, like, you probably don't need to necessarily sleep with them to know that your feelings are true. So absolutely, yeah, dude, just a crazy excuse to just cheat hard, man. Oh, man. 410 writer the W here. Full agree. Full agree. I feel like she's already hooked up with several people, and now she's just like, anyway, do you want to tell me you're okay with it so I can sleep better at night? Damn. I'm gonna have a lot of stuff to punch up after this. Well, alright. This has been our last live of the week, but don't fear. I will plan some for next week. I have a much less insane, busy, chaotic weekend ahead of me, so I should have the live schedule out at an actually decent time instead of 3 hours before I go live like yesterday. So if you haven't yet, please do like the stream. I always forget to remind you guys at the beginning. I'm getting better at like my housekeeping, start of the stream reminders, but I always forget to remind you guys to like it. So if you haven't already, smash that like button. It really helps a lot. If you want even more Dadvocate than you got to see today or here or publicly on my channel, there is bonus stuff and early access available over on the Patreon and YouTube membership. You also get access to exclusive emojis, exclusive merchandise, depending on which one you join. But the explanation, or the what is included in each package, is explained to you prior to membership purchase. So I encourage you to explore your options. And if there is a topic that you really want me to cover, or like I mentioned, a game that you really want to either have us all play together or watch me react to me playing, submit all content submissions to lauren@dadvocate.net. I do read my email, so definitely send things over. Any last words from you guys? Anything else? I love you guys are counting the likes. That's right. Bring them on up, folks. Bring them on up. Big Zilla, the City Thrilla, says, I've seen that from friends, been told it myself, compared with gents online and at work. That entire paragraph is a warning that this relationship is dead. Yeah. Super Brother says, don't ever bring us book talk stuff ever again, please. Oh my god, yeah, okay. I promise I won't. That was my sign, too. Never do book talk jail ever again. Yeah, book jail definitely deserves to exist, man. I haven't even covered that one book that came out, the one like daddy book that the lady's going to jail for, because I'm just like too cringe. Too much book jail cringe. Thank you, Baby Fever Lauren. Yeah, Baby Fever Lauren has been strong lately, I must admit. I do think, though, I'm gonna end up one of those ladies who, like, has another baby at 42 and just ruin my whole life. I just already know, man. I'd love to see a reaction to the Queer Kiwi video. Well, if you join my Patreon or YouTube membership, you will get immediate access to it, because it happened. That was our live stream on Monday. It's just behind a paywall at the moment, but I'm planning on having it edited down and released to the general public later. But if you want early access, that's the way to do it. But you also don't have to spend money on me. You just otherwise have to be patient. That's all. You'll get it, though, eventually. Adoption is still a thing, Lauren, but it's more expensive. It's cheaper to make your own. You know what I'm saying? But we've thought about it. We've really thought about it, honestly. It's definitely not out of the cards. Okay. Just have the baby now, Lauren. TJ is always ready. TJ is always ready for another kid, dude. Don't tempt him with a good time. All right. I gotta get out of here. I have some other stuff I've got to do today. But as always, you guys have been amazing. I am so excited and looking forward to seeing you guys next week for the next live streams. I will see you guys in the next one.